you're tired of being so confused. You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. But just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dude.
Hey guys, Barry Morgenstein, America's headshot photographer, coming to you from my New York City studio. Great friend of the Dumb Show. It is now time to put down the camera because it's almost 7 p.m. and I'm gonna watch the coolest, the most real and raw show on the internet. It's on every night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the coolest guys, Matt, Olivia, Leroy, and Amy. You guys have to tune in to see it. It's gonna be something incredible every night. Check it out.
Come on, man. Can you feel the pain? Into him now. About this new world. Ain't no track. Papa's got a brand new eye.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Hey, what's going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Olivia and Matthew in the house. No Leroy tonight. Leroy, listen, there's a lot of stuff going on. I think you guys can figure out that he's busy. Just maybe, might possibly be able to figure out that this man is busy. However, we're here. And
Yes.
I want to thank Olivia for doing double duty.
I'm a little behind because it was a last minute thing. So I'm trying to catch up right now.
Yeah. Why don't you walk through everybody what's going on and tell them the happy news.
The happy news. Okay, so just to update on the guests that are coming on tomorrow, Mandy Del Rio and Paul Caraforts will be here talking about his new Charlie's Bubbles book. Next Monday, Brad Kohler, ex-UFC fighter, and
we got his book today, didn't we?
We did. I'm going to read it. And
on the show right now?
No, later. And
probably good.
He's running for governor of Minnesota. Brad Kohler will be on next Monday. Next Friday, the 13th, I'm very excited. Kathleen and Chuck Peterson will be in the house. Super excited to
They're
finally
taking us to
meet
dinner
them.
at
They
least,
are.
right?
Yes.
Good.
Super excited to finally meet them. The following Monday on the 16th, Philip Hamilton, who is a Virginia Senate candidate, will actually physically be in-house with us. So we get to meet him personally, which is awesome. Jessica Lynch will be on March 31st. I have 4 other people waiting in the wings. I'm just waiting to hear responses because I don't want to book so many people at the same time. So just waiting to hear from a response from somebody I reached out to. But fantastic news.
I'm not ready yet.
Not ready yet? Okay.
No, I'm trying to get the damn picture.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's taken forever. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm
So I will
so just like stall.
Wait. Okay. So
stall.
I'm stalling.
Okay, go.
Okay. So the other thing I wanted to ask is our Rumble page is kind of stalled. It's not really growing. We're only getting like 100 views on average of our live shows.
Oh, yeah, it
so
sucks.
wondering.
Completely sucks.
And I understand that Rumble can be a platform that if you're used to other social media channels, you may not like it. But what I'm asking as a favor, good thing that's not. Just,
yeah. Sorry.
you told me to stall. I'm stalling.
Yeah, but don't stall anymore. I'm ready.
Okay, well, give me 1 second. Let me finish my thought.
Okay, go ahead.
If you guys could just hop on over to our Rumble channel, at least follow the channel and maybe give the live view, just a few minutes watch so it counts. That would be wonderful to help our channel grow. We would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. That would help. Okay, we're done. We're ready. Go.
We're ready. Okay, so the wonderful news that we are getting on, I don't know the date yet, but I will let you know. The older millennial will be on our show. Yeah. So we are super excited about that.
Yeah, you're like, who the hell's that?
That would be him.
This guy, come on, man. We have him on all the time.
We have him on all the time.
And he's got a beard and he wears bro hats, so he's gonna fit in just fine right here. I've been watching his stuff for a while, and I was just on Twitter, and I'm like, well, let's see if he has a contact. And it said booking, and I had a Gmail. I'm like, all right, well, let's just see. Dude responded back in 30 seconds. Man, this thing's now too big for me.
My jeans are too big. I need to wash them, shrink them.
I need to shrink this damn thing. Anyway, so that's awesome. Older Millennial will be here.
Yes.
And what I want to do is I want to get Damani, and I want to get him, and I want to have a dyslexic Oreo.
That would be fun.
I want to put Damani in the middle and 2 white guys on the end. It'll be a dyslexic Oreo. It'll be awesome. So we'll see if because that would just be a good show.
I want Damani to come back. I need to reach out. I'm just waiting to book everyone until I reach back out to him.
Yeah.
But his last show is when we just dropped and everything went amok. So I would like to get him back on for another show.
Yeah. Well, Older Millennial, he's super popular over on Twitter. He's got a big following over like we do on Facebook and stuff. So I think we're going to collab, and he has a show too. He has some people on, and I would love to be on it, and we'll kind of just go there. But this is how it's going. It's been going real busy lately, so we're kind of excited. Folks, donations up on the clock, $300. We have our new donation thingamajibby down here. A little bit easier, a little bit more, eye candy when it pops up. And you go to thedumbshow.com/donate. Also coffee, hats, shirts, whatever we got. Everything you see on the show, we pretty much have over there, minus what I'm wearing tonight. So sorry about that. But coffee, if you guys have not had a chance, go over to our website, pick up some coffee and stuff like that. All right, let's go.
Let's go.
And I could sell it to you, and I could just be like, oh my God, it's great coffee and it's amazing. You just need to understand, we have a 5-star rating over on our sales site, and everything we sell is top notch, high quality stuff. People will tell you we have t-shirts, they last 5 years. You buy something from Grunt Style, 2 years, it's starting to fall apart and come apart. We don't do that. Our stuff's high quality stuff, high quality hoodies, blankets, books, everything we sell is top notch. So if you have not had a chance, go over there, save yourself 10% by putting in dumb10, but get our coffee. Honestly, it was super hot and it kind of slowed down for a little bit. And I think it's because we aren't talking about it enough. So now we are. All right, let's go.
Let's go.
First things first. There's a lot going on. Like the black pillars, not pillars as in, pillars as in foundational support as for a ceiling or for a parapet or a gazebo, or an awning or a vestibule so pillars as in pillars, black pillars.
Medicine.
And black pillars, right? Black pillars would be Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, now Megyn Kelly, the Hodge twins. These are the people Nick Fuentes, the world's ending, oh my God, we struck Iran, the whole world's gonna end, World War III is here. As many times as I've heard that World War III is here, we should have all been flashed by now. I mean, it's just
exactly.
Like every single thing they say is just, doom and gloom. And it used to be people would talk about this type of stuff, and it's because they were all about revelations. Like you go and listen to Black Pillars of 2006 like 2014. It was Glenn Beck and Michelle Bachmann and Jason Chaffetz and Trey Gowdy and Lindsey Graham. And it was just, the world was going to end and God's coming back and this is the end of times. Now the black pillars are, if we do anything militarily around the world, World War III or Civil War, like Tim Pool. Tim Pool's the only one. Tim Pool says Civil War every other day. The Mad Beanie tosses it out there.
Mad Beanie.
So I understand people's trepidation, but can we just take a second to get grounded here that the world has been in a perpetual state of war since we found fire. And it used to be us against nature and us against animals. And then it became, us against disease and us against, hypothermia and us against, caves collapsing. And then we found this wonderful invention called fire by accident. And we were able to, now for people who think it was rubbing two sticks together and that's the way it started. No, that's not the way it started. In fact, I believe that the original fire was probably from lightning strikes. And somebody was like, wow, that's warm. And what if we could carry this and contain it and use brush and make fire, stay warm, then knock her on the head and drag her and go, And they transferred it in and then realized that by keeping it going, I bet the first time they're like, woke up in the morning, they're like, damn it, Barbara, I told you our fire. We should have kept it stoked all night tonight. But then realized that the coals were there and probably put some twigs and leaves, blew on it, whatever. I don't think we were smart enough to rub two sticks together and create a fiction fire, because here's the deal, because I don't buy that. Because because those people are probably the ones who have never created a friction fire in their life. It's not the easiest thing to do. And it takes a lot of practice. And there's very simple ways to do it. But learning that and the mechanics of that probably took some time and some evolutionary period. But then we came with hardened spears, right? And we were able to, clear brush and clear sage, or not sage, but clear brush and clear, rocks and clear plants by backburning. And then we realized that the ash went ahead and helped fertile the soil. And then we were able to do rudimentary type things as far as planting, right? Somebody probably had a piece of potato or a piece of onion and threw it in the ground, and then the rains came and then they saw a sprout and, 2 + 2 = 4. And we have overall, a group of slightly more intelligent than apes start to evolve into, being upright and getting out of the Cro-Magnon periods and start walking on our knuckles. And then we started to see the other forms of things, of combat and warfare versus tribes. And this giant growth of perpetual war, perpetual famine, perpetual disease just kept going and going throughout our entire existence, which is relatively short. And then we figured out that, throwing sticks and sharpening sticks wasn't just enough. We had to be able to do more, and we needed penetration power and thrusting power. Okay, well, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to use an arrowhead, and we're going to, put a rock and flint and obsidian and then tie it with reeds and sinew and let it dry. And then harden those spears. And now, new machine gun, basically. This guy's got a wooden spear. Look what I fucking got. And then that guy's, well, we can't have that. We've got to upgrade this. And it's like, okay, well, now what do we do? Well, instead of throwing spears, what if we could shoot spears, And then you saw the progression of the modern day bow and arrow. And then they took that technology, and then someone said, okay, well, instead of putting this small little, stone or onyx, obsidian glass type, arrowhead, let's go ahead and put a hilt on it so we can hold it. All right, now you got a dagger. And then, okay, let's make it longer. Now you got a dirk. Well, let's make it super long. Okay, now you got a rapier. Now you got a Toledo Salamanca broadsword. Now, all right, well, now what we can do is we can make a halberd or a morning star. And you saw the progression. Well, maybe one hand is enough. What if we hit him with two hands? Well, let's make the two-handed bastard sword and the claymore. And then somebody said that's not enough. Well, now people are starting to build defense, and they're putting up blocks and moats and trebuchets, or not trebuchets, but moats and copses. And how are we going to get around that? Well, I know. Let's build this giant thing and name it something very French and obnoxious. Trebuchet. Oh, that sounds fantastic. Let's call it a trebuchet. And they built a trebuchet, this giant gravitational slingshot, and threw shit over the walls. And we have been in this state since infancy. Once we recognized fire and recognized shelter and recognized food, people started competing for these sources. Now, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Everybody knows this. Olivia, you know this.
Yes.
In some form or another, and you may not know all the ages and be able to go ahead and walk me through the Stone Age or the Bronze Age or the Golden Age or whatever. But you understand, everyone understands this. And people were scared in WW1 and WW2. They were scared in the Gulf. They were scared in Vietnam. They were scared in Korea. This is natural. And we have a fear, and we always think of the worst. But do you guys also understand that it just because we decide to go ahead and do a slash and burn agriculture a little bit and burn some of the overgrowth, that doesn't mean that the whole world's going to catch fire. And we need to trim the hedges once in a while. We need to rake the leaves. We need to edge the lawn. And
Plant
that's
some flowers.
Yes,
Make it look pretty.
That's what we're doing. We're going to let Iran plant the flowers. I mean, if we're going to use this metaphor, let's take it full steam. But we're de-weeding the lawn right now. Because folks, if I told you, if I had a database, and I have it right here if you want to see it, it's pathetic. But this database is the worldwide terrorism incidents. I've got every terrorist incident since 1964. Liv, I'm going to scroll and tell me how many more I have to go. Are you seeing the cursor up there? You know what?
Oh my gosh.
Here, I'll just put you guys in the window. Here you go. Here's the database of all the, and yes, Matt, why do you have a database of all the terrorists? It's because, folks, I'm anal that way. Okay? Because I do, that's why. Look. I feel like David Blaine. Look at it levitate. These are all the terrorist activities. Folks, I'm not done. There are over 68,000 in this database. 68,000 terrorist events. I'm not done. Look, I can't even go fast enough. I can't even do super zoom on Mac.
You are finally halfway there.
My Mac is like one of the most powerful Macs on the planet, and I can't. Look at this. Liv, how fast is my finger going?
Super fast. Yeah.
Usually it's my finger only goes that fast during certain situations.
Oh God, I know what you can do with your
Right.
little finger.
So I'm still going, folks. 68,000 terrorist events. All right. And look at this. I finally let go and it was still going. It's not done. It's still not done. Now, what have I told you? That those 68,000 terrorist events that Iran has had some sort of culpability, funding, training, proxy groups, involvement in over 82% of those attacks. Now, what do you think? 82% of those terrorist attacks have involvement from the Muslim Brotherhood, the JIP, the Houthis, Hezbollah, the IRGC, the Red Brigade, Shia Sunnis, Kurds, ISIS-K, Al-Qaeda. I say JIP?
I don't know. Hamas?
Hamas, the PLO, the Rising Sun Brigade. No, the Rising the Sun Horizon Brigade. Dude, when we say Iran is the number one state sponsor of terror, are you retarded? Do you not hear what's being said? They are the number one state sponsor of terror. Iran is involved in all of it. All destabilization in the Middle East is because of Iran. Oh, Matt, how can you say that? It's impossible. Well, let me tell you. Would you mind?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is this the Iraq war? Are we worried this is Iraq? Let me explain something to you. This is the farthest thing from Iraq. Let me explain why. Iraq was never a state. Iraq was held together by a despot dictator and was multiple provinces and sections that were never an established form of government, never had an established form of culture, were a matriculating-based society of nomads and vagabonds. Iraq literally had nothing. They were North Korea. North Korea has more culture and government and history than Iraq did. Iraq was a destabilized region and never was a form of sovereign government, ever. It was literally Saddam Hussein. That was it. So when we went in there and we tried to do regime change, what do you think happened?
It didn't work because there's really
there's no infrastructure. There's no government. It's literally, it would be like taking half of Canada and tearing it off, and you would have two Canadas. If you did that with the United States, you'd have two halves of the United States. You did it with Russia, you did it with China. But with Iraq, it was literally a no man's zone, a no man's land of despotism and desolation from a failed Syrian state. And the entire area of Iraq was pushed off to the side, and everyone matriculated to the western portion of Syria. And Iraq literally was just abandoned. And it had no structure and it had nothing. And Saddam Hussein went in, and any culture it did have, he killed. Forced the Shiites out. They moved into Iran. Sunnis, Shias, all moved to northern and northwestern out of Iraq and murdered and killed any opposition. Iraq was never going to work. And the other difference is we put in 250,000 troops in Iraq. Let me say it again, 250,000 troops. We Korea'd it because Korea was going to fall. China and North Korea were going to take South Korea. And in the Korean War, the United States literally saved it. They made a last stand, Custer's last stand. They put in 50,000 troops. Those 50,000 got well over 250,000, and we saved Korea. And if you watch the ebb and flow of the tide and the overall lines of battle that were drawn in Korea, we had a tiny little sliver in the southeast portion of Korea. And we put American troops in there. And we started to push. And it was a massive push. But you literally saw this. It was like a breathing, an ebb and flow of push and pull. And it was a battle of miles. And Vietnam was a battle of inches. Iraq was a battle of Texas. And it all just overturned at night. And one night, and a 3-day bombing extravaganza that was the largest that the world had seen. And now it's like, okay, now what do we do? Well, what we do is we have civil war, and we have provinces of Iraq that break off, and you have independent regimes of power that are taken over by Al-Qaeda and ISIS-type forces. This is what took place in Iraq. You're not going to have that in Iran. Iran has command and control. It has infrastructure. It has people. It has culture. It's made up of a shit ton of Persians, and it's actually not even made up of a lot of Arabs. About 2 to 3% of it is Arab. They're Persians. There's about 1 to 2% that are Christians. There's some Jews. There's people from Azerbaijan and Turkey and other places, but predominantly it's Persian. They do follow Shiite Sharia law, but they are a theocratic republic. What is a theocratic republic? Well, they elect and assign by God. They're a theocratic republic, and they are a nation of laws. The difference is that we are an elected representative government and a republic, which is a nation of laws, but our laws are a little bit different. They say their laws come from God and are endowed by the Creator and natural given rights that are put into the Constitution of the United States, which lets us know exactly what the government is not able to do to its citizens. The opposite is true in a theocratic republic where God decides
what happens to all of you, or Allah in this case. And the people who are the conduit to that are the mullahs and the clerics and the Ayatollah. It's not Iraq. It's not even Afghanistan. Afghanistan was very much like Iraq because they had just got done with a 20-year war with Russia. And it was segmented and depopulated, and factions were all over the place. This is not that. This is a country very similar to like Ukraine that has multiple cities, multiple industry, infrastructure, had redundancies in place, has standing military, is a sovereign country. Very different. Plus, we don't have 250,000 troops on the ground. So why are we talking about this? Well, because you're seeing the Black Pill Brigade flip out. People like Tucker Carlson, even Matt Walsh is coming to the table, and I'm going to defend Matt Walsh. But I want to start off with Tucker Carlson, who is saying, number one, that Trump was not, there was no assassination. Hi, Shelley Morgenstein. Hi, Shell.
Hello, Shelley.
Good to see you.
You coming to Virginia this weekend too?
Whatever.
Or just Barry?
They're coming.
Barry's too busy to come see us.
Is that what he said?
No, it's his weekend in Virginia. It's a booked weekend for photo shoots. It's been a year since we've done our photo shoot, if you can believe that. Can't believe that? It's been a year.
So he's not coming?
No, he's not coming to visit us. She's Barry sitting next to her.
Wank!
Must be too long of a drive, huh, Barry? 45 minutes, real tough, huh? That's cool. I'm not taking it personal. It's okay, man. It's cool. Anyway, I want to talk to you why Jews are destroying America, folks, and why Israel is the great... No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to turn on him. I'm going to be like Tucker. I'm going to play Tucker shows all night. All right, so let me blow up Tucker here.
Okay. Mel has a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
What is your estimation on the lifespan of the newly elected Ayatollah?
Well, I just did a meme. Did you see it?
I didn't see. I saw your video from earlier. I haven't seen it.
I just put up a meme, and it basically says, breaking. Black smoke signals that the College of Mullahs has not reached a decision on the new Ayatollah today. Well, let's walk through that real quick. Okay, so 48 hours ago, you had a group of 12 which joined together in not a conclave, but a meeting to discuss who would possibly step up. And the Jews nuked them. Well, they obliterated them. They killed them all. They killed them all. Okay? So then yesterday, another massive group of like this select committee decide to get together, and this is all the clerics and the mullahs. They get together. And Israel's like, no, I don't think so. Kills all of them, even the good ones, right? I mean, there's ones that Trump's on his list. He's like, well, nope. Israel got him. Nope, they got him too. Nope. What about No, they got him. He's on the wall. You can see he's dripping still. So no. And then a peaceful, relatively peaceful. These guys are like a beauty pageant judges. They just come in and they go, nice tits, nice ass, swimsuit. Yep, I vote for North Carolina. That's what they're doing. Their only responsibility is to select the Ayatollah. That's it. That's all they do. That's it. That's the only responsibility. They're like, bring me my virgins and my tea. Give me my hookah. Sir, we can't. Why? You have to go select the Ayatollah. Fuck! Didn't we just do this? We've done this twice in history. First it was Khomeini, now it's Khomeini. I mean, God, how many times do I have to work? It's been 5 centuries. Fuck me. So they all walk in there.
Those 70 wives are keeping them busy.
Right. And they walk into the group, and there's 48 of them or whatever, and they're like, Ahmed, so good to see you. I didn't see you since the last time. And they're like, oh, Ahmed, good to see you. Oh, Ahmed, look at you.
Ahmed.
Ahmed, it's wonderful. Doctor. And they're just there to select the Ayatollah. Okay, my hand's in the fishbowl. Hold on. Oh, I'm about to read the name. Just gone.
Silence. I kill you.
Silence! I kill you. All dead.
That's my favorite Muslim.
And Netanyahu is sitting there going, I'm not sure if you do not understand what we're trying to tell you, but you are not getting another Ayah-fucking-Tolah. Pick a prince. Have an election. Have a Volksgrad.
Oh, what?
But it's old school voting in German days.
Okay.
Have a Volksgrad. Play bingo. We don't fucking care, but you are not getting an Ayatollah. I think the message is pretty clear. Olivia, they love your hoodie. Do you love it enough to come down and I'll give it to you? If you actually show up, you gotta stop by. You can have it.
Yeah, we'll order you one, but you got to come pick it up.
You can have it. You can just have it right now. Just tear it off of her and give it to you. You just got to come over, y'all.
Did Hayden actually wear her hoodie to
yes,
school
she
today?
did. And she made conservative friends finally, and I'm so proud of her. All right. So this is I'm telling you right now, and if you think the United States isn't doing this, we're going to talk about this too, but you think the United States isn't involved in this, they are. They're not going to allow another Ayatollah. I'm just letting you know. And every time they keep hitting and putting Ayatollahs in place, they're going to get bombed. And the thing is you guys, what you don't seem to understand is Mossad and IDF have so much control over Iran, and the people are so sick of the clerics and the Ayatollah and the mullahs that they literally have spies everywhere. Everywhere. The Jews know everywhere they go, like, maybe we can go to that place in northern Iran. Oh, that one with the spa? Oh, and the black sand? Yes, let's go there. Absolutely. Go there. Boom. Guam got hit today. So remember where I told you that they were hitting last night? That might be a new nuclear facility up in Kim? Well, guess what, folks? That's right next to Guam. And guess what they did? Not only did they hit that facility, the Iranians are like, well, we'll just go up to Guam. They're not going to come there. No way. They won't be there. They won't know. Shh. Don't tell anyone. Let's go. They show up. Boom. So you guys are sitting here worried about this. Now, the only other thing I'll tell you is like, but Matt, they hit the U.S. Embassy in Bahrain. See, I said it. I didn't say Bahrain. They hit it in Bahrain. They hit Qatar. Folks, this is what happens in war. And when you have a bunch of $35,000 drones going up against $3.2 million rockets, I'm letting you know it's going to overwhelm these defense shields, and people are going to die. This is a battle. This is a conflict. This is a war. This is a special operation. However you want to say it, the people on the ground are going to die. But you notice that it's not boots on the ground in Iran. They are striking everybody. 17 countries now have been hit by Iran. They're literally just like, you get a missile and you get a missile and they're the Oprah of the goat herders. So you're going to have some stomach, and we're going to lose some people. We're going to lose English. We're going to lose French. We're going to lose Germans. We're going to lose Qatarians. We're going to lose Kuwaitians. They're too small to have a really important name, so we're just going to call them Kuwaitis. Iraqis, Jews, Israelis, you're going to lose. People are going to die. But let me ask you a question. Did you give a flying shit about the 63,000 terrorist bombings? Did you give a shit about the millions that have been attacked, maimed, killed, murdered by terrorists? Then it's a small price to pay. Iran needs to go. And I'll tell you why throughout the rest of the show. Let's get to Tucker. Here it is. Watch.
Way to end that. So, Kennedy assassination, 9/11. But let's start with the purported assassination attempts on Donald Trump. Now, why are those significant? Because yesterday the president...
Why was he talking? Does anyone watch this? Why was he talking about Kennedy and 9/11? Did he blame it on the Jews? Has this guy just gone full Reich? Is he completely just, should I call him Adolf Carlson? The only reason I've ever heard anyone, especially in the last 3 years, talk about 9/11 and Kennedy is because they're about to go ahead and say the Jews are responsible for both. If anyone watched this, let me know. Here's the rest.
The United States said, I did this, and by this I mean killed the head of state of Iran, the Ayatollah Khamenei. He tried to kill me twice, but I got him first. It's almost a verbatim quote from the president who thinks that. He's been told that. Get it. What do we know about that? Where did that intelligence come from that proved that the government of Iran, run by the Ayatollah, this religious leader, tried to assassinate the president of the United States twice? Do we know where that came from? Oh, it came from Israel.
No, actually it didn't. It came through communique intercepts from an IRGC commander. So that's not true. That's not true. So when you say it comes from Israel, you understand that the United States has to verify its intelligence sources, especially human sources. So that's called redundancy. And the United States has redundancy with all intelligence agencies. But let's listen to the rest of Tucker. You know, just asking questions. He's just canvassing this up. Yep.
That's where that intel came from. Well, let's see it. Why not? At this point, he's dead. Why can't we see that? Oh,
maybe it's because half of the things that you said to Mike Huckabee, you actually had to remove when you said ultimately that the Jews and Donald Trump were at Epstein Island. And you had to retract that because you got your ass sued into oblivion. And you received a warning that it's a cease and desist, that you take it down or you are basically going to get nuked from space financially.
I think he's very upset that his financial backing is gone.
It's not that it's gone. It's just it's not just Iran. It's Arab states. But here's the thing, Tucker. We know you're getting money from Qatar. Do you know Qatar has now vowed revenge against Iran for striking them? That we're literally having to hold the dog leash collar of like 9 Arab states from bombing every single person in Iran and just destroying them. Do you understand how much Donald Trump is having to hold together to hold back holding back Israel, along with the other 16 countries that now all want a shot at beating the shit out of Iran? So I think he's holding it pretty together. Patton had less success. MacArthur had less success. We might as well call Donald Trump the supreme commander of the Western Allied forces, because nobody is breaking the pact here. Matt Walsh said this, pro-Israel, I think in June in 25. Listen.
If it's actually true that Iran has tried to, or is right now trying to kill our president, then absolutely we should invade the country and annihilate the whole regime. Obviously, when the United States says the United States should personally kill every person in the Iranian government if they're trying to assassinate our president.
I agree.
This is an act of war against us, and we would be totally justified in responding with overwhelming, violent force. Now, you still can't go in and purposely kill civilians, but...
You guys, this is Matt Walsh, Daily Wire. I like Matt Walsh. I've met Matt Walsh. He's a nice guy. He's a very intelligent human being. This is his take. Yep, June 25. Here it is.
That's an act of war, and we should respond with our own act of war. If you try to kill our president, if you as a sovereign nation conspire to kill our president, we should go in and conquer and destroy you and wipe out anyone even vaguely involved in the plot. So I get called an isolationist a lot. And I mean, I don't care if you call me that or not. The labels don't mean anything to me, but I certainly believe that the United States can and should go to
Jeff Oliphant, thank you for ordering your bag of coffee. Appreciate you.
War to defend itself. And this would be a totally legitimate war of self-defense. So then it's weird that we haven't actually invaded Iran if they're actually trying to kill the president. If we have real intel, if we have real intelligence that that's actually happening or has happened and is happening, it's strange that they tried to kill Trump is mentioned as this kind of tangential secondary point. It's mentioned almost as an aside by the people who are in favor of intervention. And it's like, well, wait a second. Wait, did they try to kill Trump or not? Because if they did, why are we talking about nukes in Iran. Why are we talking about Israel? Why are we talking about anything else? Like, if they did that, that's all we need to talk about. Go kill the bastards right now. But then
because, Matt, as you know, and you're a smart guy, is that there is international diplomacy involved. And although you guys may think that Donald J. Trump is just off the hilt and just wants to go ahead and murder and kill everybody for personal reasons, there are more pressing issues that can affect more people than just Donald J. Trump. And if Donald J. Trump makes decisions that are emotional based upon personal conflicts, well, then he would just go ahead and nuke Senate and the Congress. He might as well just go ahead and blow up state legislature. He should just take out California. Most of these crazies who've tried to kill him had some sort of connection to California or Pennsylvania. So Trump should just bomb Pennsylvania. Now, I understand that's a very way out there thought process. But you don't just go bomb Iran because they make threats. Otherwise, we would have put them in the Stone Age in 1969. I just told you, 60,000 plus terrorist attacks linked to Iran. They deserve to be sent into the Stone Age a long time ago. But here is his response today. And listen to this. And this is the guy who does the Trump voice, and he breaks this down. He has a very similar opinion as I do, so I'm just going to let him tell you. Here it is.
Guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's the enemy, but stuff like this really, really bothers me. And I'll explain why in a second. He says, I can't take...
This is Sean Farash. If you haven't seen him, he does a great Trump impersonation, but here he is going after Matt Walsh a little bit.
The gaslighting, guys, I really can't. Conservatives are now running around saying, quote, Iran has been waging war on us for 47 years, end quote. Okay, then why didn't any of you call for an attack on Iran at any point until now? Why didn't you make a case for Trump, quote, ending the war, not starting it, end quote, until precisely the moment when Trump did it? You and I both know that you are latching onto a talking point you never used until 45 seconds ago. You and I both know that almost every conservative influencer in the business was opposed to war with Iran until just now.
Except the Don't Unfriend Me show, where I told you that China, that Russia, that North Korea were not our biggest concerns. The number one concern that I have said, and I can go back to the show, and it was a 2.5-hour breakdown of Iran's weapon systems and how they were a geopolitical threat to the United States because of instability, energy, and over our chaos of pushing and immigrating and pushing people into Europe based upon their actions of violence. I told you Iran was the number one target. I told you 4 years ago that Iran was the number one target. I called this shit a long time ago. So, conservative influencer, I will stick to my numbers and say that I called this a long time ago. Because China didn't have the energy, Russia didn't have the current weaponry, and North Korea did not have the infrastructure, will, or capability to rain fire. They said they would rain fire, but North Korea wouldn't rain fire because China would knock their dicks in the dirt. Iran. I told you Iran was single-handedly the biggest threat to the United States and had nothing to do with their offensive capabilities. I told you it had to do with energy. It had to do with their defensive capabilities to be able to repel the United States. And I will tell you this most assuredly, and then I got to move on because Olivia's going to reach over and slap me and cut me, is that if this was the 80s, the 90s, the 2000, 2010 to 2020s, we would not be able to do what we just did to Iran. They are single-handedly the biggest and greatest integrated air defense system in the world. They had the best surface-to-air missile suppression at anywhere. They had coastal missile batteries. They were mined in the Gulf. They protected their entire west flank.
They were impossible to hit from the north. And you would be encroaching upon different territories that would not allow us coming from the east. They had one of the most defended and strongest defensive infrastructures out of any nation. And I said, if they get a nuke, it's ball game. It's ball game. And you need to hit them as soon as we possibly can, but be prepared to take a shit ton of forces. Well, then the F-22 was born and over-the-horizon targeting, and now it's easy. But it wasn't for almost 40 years. Iran would have mopped the floor. The first wave of our Air Force and Navy would have had 72% casualties if they had to go in. That's what we estimated when we wrote the strike plan in 1998. Joint task force between the Marine Corps, United States Air Force, Army, and Navy. I was on the task force that wrote that strike package. There's about 75 of us. We had a 72% attrition rate in our first wave. Think about that. Think about the devastation. B-52s out of Diego Garcia. You'd lose half your B-52s. The F-117 Nighthawk would have got picked out of the sky. And it wasn't because their targeting acquisition was good. They had so much AAA that you couldn't fly from here to Burbank, California without literally being Swiss cheese. The size of that country is so massive. Without any forward operating bases, without CENTCOM built, you just could not literally move the amount of air that you needed. And our aircraft carriers were susceptible to silkworms. CSC-3s could sink an aircraft carrier. All right. Sorry.
You're fine.
Play the rest.
I don't hate this guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. You're allowed to change your mind. I've changed my mind about things. But don't try to rewrite history. Be honest about it. There's too much at stake to play these games. Okay. Fine. So you want to kind of call out people for flip-flopping. I'm okay with that.
Agreed.
You want to say that you could change your mind, but you have to explain yourself? I'm okay with that as well.
Me too.
So I'd like to know if Matt Walsh is going to live by the rules that he sets. Because thanks to the great Maze Moore on X, he found this clip from June of 2025, folks. It's not a long time ago. June of 2025. Matt Walsh said the following about Iran.
If it's actually true.
Every leader who was involved in that plot. Okay? You guys heard Matt Walsh say that. I didn't say that. Matt said that. Here you go. Headline, Politico. Iran ordered an operative to assassinate Trump before the election, federal prosecutors say. Okay. So if this article from Politico in 2024 is accurate, Matt Walsh's justification or standards for, justifying the war on Iran are met, right? Because he said, if you conspired to kill the president, then we should conquer your country. According to a criminal complaint unsealed in Manhattan federal court, Shakiri said during an FBI interview that in September of 2024, he was directed by the IRGC to surveil and kill Donald Trump, whom the charging papers identify as
Wait, I thought it was the Jews. Oh,
that's just one. We're not even.
No, there's a plethora of them. It wasn't just Israel. Israel confirmed the sources. But this was multiple leaks, and you guys have to understand something. If IDF says something, I understand you guys are going to go back to weapons of mass destruction. But it's interesting you don't go ahead and blame MI6. You don't go ahead and blame the PRK. You don't go ahead and blame Langley. You don't blame the NSA or the NRO. You don't blame Polish intelligence. You guys only blame the Jews. Well, they weren't the only ones, folks. Every single major intelligence agency on planet Earth believed Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, or at least that's what we were told. I'll talk about China in a second.
Done yet? How about this case out of Brooklyn? Brooklyn terror trial opens for man accused of plotting to kill Donald Trump and other U.S. officials. Wait a second. Okay, so this is now two men who have allegedly, we have to say allegedly, this is at trial, allegedly conspired with Iran to kill President Donald Trump. Prosecutors, this is, by the way, a couple weeks ago, February 25th, 2026. Prosecutors say Pakistani national Asif Marchant traveled to the United States to kill U.S. politicians in 2024. Prosecutors suspect Marchant was tied to Iranian intelligence. U.S. officials have warned for years that Iran has sought to avenge the 2020 killing of Qasem Soleimani.
Yep.
By assassinating Donald Trump. Okay?
Yep.
So, Matt Walsh, if you're conspiring to kill the president, we should be conquering your country. Those are his words. Conquering your country. It's not my words. So Matt Walsh's words. Okay, finally, wait.
I'm with Sean on this. You know, but you can change your mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a right to change your mind.
Yeah.
So I don't care what Matt Walsh said in June of 25. The world has changed. There's a lot different in the world. I think the appetite for war is done, and people are sick of it after what happened in Afghanistan. I think they're sick of what happened in Iraq. I think they don't want an Iraq 3.0. And I completely understand that. And I'm with Matt Walsh on that. And I also agree with Sean. They're both right and they're both wrong. Matt Walsh gets to change his mind. What Matt Walsh doesn't get to do is to pretend he's holier than thou and say that all conservative influencers are saying this when he was saying something completely different in 2025. And he needs to give credit to the conservative influencers who did it. Do I expect him to recognize me? No, because I'm a small-time little shit podcast. But there are other conservative influencers who called out for the destruction of Iran. It wasn't just me. And to say that is completely disingenuous. I like Sean. He's a good dude. I like Matt Walsh.
Yeah, if you're gonna say it, stick to your guns, or say, okay, I changed my mind. I had this opinion, but as time's gone on, I'm changing my mind, and this is what my opinion is now. Don't go back and say, I never said that, or I've always thought this way, because then you look foolish.
Right. See, Drew, here's the thing. It says, sure, just requires trusting the information we're not allowed to know. That's not true. That's not true at all. I've shown you ways to get the information that you guys think is behind closed doors. You just have to stop going to the wrong sources. The Supreme Leader, every 30 days, put out videos of them dropping nukes on New York, of having caskets with Donald Trump in it. Have you guys not seen this shit? Iran is one of the largest producers of state-run propaganda outside of Ukraine and Russia. Iran has made these threats public. They put out hits on Donald Trump and put bounties on him openly by their own creation. So not only are you seeing, okay, well, that's a video. Is that an actual threat? Okay, well, now we've got IRGC commanders that are coming to the United States, and we have reliable intelligence from multiple agencies outside of Jews and Israel and IDF. We have multiple agencies that are reporting this from investigative journalism and talking to sources. But you also need to understand, since 2001, the human intelligence game that the IC has been putting out is light years more advanced than when we were in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s before 9/11. We gave up on intelligence from 1990 to 2001, and that's what caused 9/11. We stopped funding it. We stopped funding human intelligence because it got too messy by interrogating people. We said that interrogation was torture, and we started becoming pussies. So human intelligence was replaced by electronic intelligence, listening devices, lasers, picking up on telecom, reading emails, and the intelligence in the IC gave up their analysis to computer systems. And we took a plethora of information in and didn't process and disseminate it effectively. Chains of custody became more important than intercollaboration between multiple agencies. And we got hit. Same thing in Pearl Harbor. Now people are like, oh, we let 9/11 happen. We let Pearl Harbor happen. Okay, yeah, we let the Japanese kill almost 2/3 of our entire fleet if the aircraft carriers would have stayed in port. So I just want you guys to understand something. To say that, well, we have to trust intelligence. I am the first person to say that the intelligence community has failed on multiple occasions. I'm one of the first persons to tell you that. But you have to understand that the communication process to confirm intelligence isn't just a single, someone picks up a matchbook and something was written on the inside cover. It's a lot more complicated than that. Who are you calling and what's your name?
Hey, it's Drew, boss.
What's up?
The comment was actually directed in chat, not at you per se. I was wondering, did 3 weeks ago it came across the news blotter that Iran had ordered hypersonic missiles from China, and if maybe that was the compelling event, since we don't really have any tested defense against hypersonics for our two carriers that are sitting over there.
Well, that's not true. We absolutely have defense against hypersonics. You don't know about it, and neither does the general public. So we wouldn't be in the Gulf if hypersonics would make our aircraft carriers susceptible. So that's
not the impending event.
No.
I was just trying to say, like, what changed? What materially changed?
Yeah, I can answer that.
Summer,
I can answer that. Oh, my headset.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Hold on a second. I can answer. Oh, shit. Hold on.
Connection on his headphones is having issues.
Okay. Hello, test.
Can you hear me? Nope.
Test. Okay. So there's a couple things. It's a really good question. Hypersonic missiles are obviously a concern, but just because you have hypersonic missiles doesn't mean you have the delivery package for them. It's more than just a missile system, right? You have to have the targeting acquisition. You have to have the launcher, all those other things. Hypersonic missiles are in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Iran does not have that money to go ahead and pay for that. China has platformed most of their, this was 48 hours ago, most of their surface-to-air missile systems, some of their coastal batteries that are able to hit surface-to-surface ships, et cetera, and used upgraded Chinese programs to make them more effective and to make their missile systems more effective. The kickoff point for this is that Iran began to build other facilities. And these facilities were spread out predominantly on the eastern side. And they were building and fortifying these nuclear armaments. China, most assuredly, with selling missile systems, an upgraded missile system, and the threat of hypersonic, said that they are going to move forward with beefing up their entire IADS and defensive and coastal defensive systems, which would have put them back in a place of those years of 1970, 1980, 1990, and 2000, 2010 up to 20, where they were one of the most stringent and effective defensive posturing countries in the world. Integrated air defense, Iran was number one. They were number one for 35 years. So they were moving back towards that and to rebuild and restructure and fortify their country with updated technology that could hit our bombers, could hit any of the ones that go into country from 150 miles out. This is unacceptable to the United States. So since they did not get the message when we went ahead and hit them with Midnight Hammer and they started rebuilding their fission reactor and material sites, this was now the time to hit them before they became so fortified, and their buildup through China was going to go ahead and resupply them with the defensive capabilities to thwart or at least make it highly damaging to Israel and the United States if we decided to go in. Let me put a caveat on this. Remember, we just took 12% of China's overall oil productivity when it came to, 8% from Venezuela. And now that we're in Iran, we're talking over 20% of productivity from China is now off the world market and in the hands of the United States. This was also another move to get ahead of China and corner the global market on oil. You notice how Donald Trump is now ensuring that the Suez Canal will be protected with aircraft carriers and has literally taken operation control of the Suez Canal. Donald Trump is absolutely cornering the oil market in the Middle East and owning most of the world's dominant energy source. That's the end of that question, Drew.
Does that, I guess, part two, if you don't mind. So China has to stockpile oil in advance of any Taiwan invasion because we can blockade them from the sea easy enough.
Correct.
So we're just getting in front of it.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. You're neutering China. China doesn't want world dominance. China doesn't want to invade a bunch of different countries. They want to posture against Taiwan till Taiwan becomes susceptible, very similar to Hong Kong, where British just said, okay, you know what, take it. It turns over to Chinese rule. Merry Christmas, have it. They have a claim against Taiwan. China has a legitimate claim on Taiwan, just like Russia has a legitimate claim on Ukraine, at least the Donbass region and the eastern side of Ukraine. But China doesn't want to, logistically, they don't even have the capability to invade Taiwan. What we're trying to do is have them stop that, and that's because of Taiwanese semiconductor. In 10 years, we don't give a shit about Taiwan. Right now, we do.
I hope so.
Well, that's why Donald Trump is building semiconductors like they're going out of style. This is why he's building AI plants. He's building energy and manufacturing so he can go ahead and get ahead of the game of being interdependent on aluminum and semiconductors from Taiwan. But we're not going to be there for 10 more years. So you have to stop China from going into Taiwan. And how do you do that? Well, when you don't have any fuel for winter, you're not really thinking about Taiwan. And when you have to run an entire battle group and multiple logistical for food, for energy, forward operating base, construction, that takes a shit ton of energy that China doesn't have. And they're not getting it from Russia. And now they're no longer getting it from Iran. And they're not getting it from South America. And China is getting their balls clipped.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. It's
Thanks,
smart.
Matt.
Yeah, Bubba. Appreciate you, Drew. Thanks for calling, Val. Appreciate you. Bye.
You got it.
Bye, Drew.
Bye.
So, all right, let's get Olivia into this because she's just like, fuck, why did I even come on tonight? I'm sorry, baby.
When it comes to this, I know nothing. So I just give the floor to you.
I know, but you do, and you're learning. And and some of this stuff, and unfortunately, it sucks because I'm not giving you that time, and I'm not trying to. But sometimes these things I get sucked into them. So I'm gonna shift. I'm gonna watch a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient. Yeah, China can go back to coal-fired plants, but that's not going to help them with fueling their vessels. It might help them with state-bound energy, but they need oil, and they need oil bad because they don't have nuclear carriers. You guys got to understand, China doesn't have a nuclear fleet. They don't have nuke subs. They don't have nuke carriers. They don't have nuke anything. The United States doesn't need oil to run our weapon systems. We may not be able to stay warm on the coast, but our war machine will continue to run because it's nukes. See, this is the difference, guys. This is how we win. They are dependent upon energy to supply their military. We got away from that shit after we learned our lesson in World War II with what happened to the Japanese. And we had literally spent decades, creating nuclear-powered vessels. Does that make sense? So our military, even our fighters, and I'm not going to go into a bunch of specifics, but even our fighters don't consume as much oil and gas as they used to and jet fuel as they used to. They're very efficient. And I can't go into ranges and stuff like that, but I can tell you an F-22 will outperform leaps and bounds over an F-A-18 as far as distance and threshold and being able to fly at top speeds. So the United States has made itself autonomous from the energy fight. It's like you've got all the hockey teams and then you got the Colorado Avalanche. At least in 2022, let's take it for that. That's what all of them said. It's like, here's your S-tier teams. Here's your might make the playoff teams. And then you have the Colorado Avalanche who aren't even in the same league with these other teams. And that wound up being true. China is not happy about Russia being in a war. They are not happy with Iran being in a war. They want stability in their countries. That's what they want. They want economic dominance. They don't care about global dominance. They don't want territory. They want to own the South Pacific. They want to control all trade on the eastern side of the world like we want to control it on the western side of the world. The reason why people are so crazy over Donald Trump right now is because he's doing exactly what China wants to do. That's what we're doing. All right, let's move on. Folks, I don't think we've had a single donation. So either I'm really entertaining or we just have forgotten to donate tonight. All right, let's watch this video. Olivia's going to like this one. Liv, yes. I promise you will be good for the rest of the show.
Okay.
The Wild will win the cup. Okay.
What? Who said that?
It's okay. I'm not going to talk any trash during. No, it's hockey season. We don't do it. We talk hockey and Olympics, but we're not. I'm just okay. Anyway, Congressional Medal of Honor was given out to a recipient, and people are trashing Donald Trump. And here is what you're about to see.
Sorry.
So, United States Army, Combat Infantry Badge, and the man is obviously 20 years posthumous from his military uniform. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
And people are insulting Trump, saying, geez, why couldn't you go ahead and make a bigger ribbon, a bigger medal? He looks so stupid with that on. Why would you embarrass him? Like Democrats care.
Like they would give this out to anyone.
Yeah.
Because they don't care.
They'd probably give it out to George Floyd.
That's a good point.
So let me explain something, folks. The Congressional Medal of Honor is exactly 21.75 inches of ribbon. It looks stupid on everybody wearing it. It looks really foolish on him. But what's more insulting? You can't wear your uniform, and we need to get you an additional couple of links because you're too chubby for it. This man is not military sat. He's not within regulations as far as his weight. And this medal was given posthumously to most people who received it, and the ones that were alive usually were still in or in good condition. Older people usually are not this guy's size. I'm just letting you know. I have met 13 Congressional Medal of Honor winners, 16, and all of them were in fairly decent shape. This guy is overweight, and that's okay.
He's a grandpa.
That's right. And federal regulation code is that it has to be 21.75 inches, and anything expanding that medal is desecration to the medal itself. So you know what? This guy doesn't care.
No, he's getting that. I wouldn't care either.
I can't hear you. You're not talking
Sorry.
loud enough.
He's getting that medal. I wouldn't care. I mean, you're getting a medal.
Right.
And that medal.
You've been doing low voice a lot. You just like, I think it's like a goaltender that doesn't face a lot of shots. So whenever you don't get it, you got to start yelling. Just start projecting to the TV. Cool.
All
right. So needless to say, something that I'm not too worried about. I think, once again, focusing on the things that aren't important. The most important thing is that guy got the CMH, and it's the highest honor we can give a military member. And instead of celebrating that, they're worried about that the ribbon doesn't fit around the guy's neck. It's ridiculous.
She got locked in the bedroom today, so she's a little clingy.
Good. Rockets and hypersonic missiles. Going to show you Shahed drone right here. These are these are actually cheaper than that. Some of these are $5,000 up to $37,000, $35,000 to $100,000 for these drones. They're extremely difficult to see. You can literally put this mobile launch station on a golf cart. The only thing it has to do is be propped up at like a 45-degree angle and then launch, and this is what they look like. Oh my God, they're hypersonic missiles. Folks, I want to let you know something. Most missiles are hypersonic anyway, okay? Missiles are hypersonic, most of them. There's some slower moving missiles, larger size missiles that aren't hypersonic. But pretty much anything that you see being launched in Israel, anything else, they're already hypersonic, okay?
That's cool.
Is it in? pussies.
So do those drones, the suicide drones, they have actual bombs on them?
No, they're explosive. They're proximity. So they'll get to a certain altitude, certain place, and that they will explode, usually on impact or a detonation. So understand this, guys. Iran is not a pushover. They've got some offensive capabilities. They had tens of thousands of missiles. It's not that they don't have the capability. And understand this is David Sling, the Iron Dome, the Patriot 2, these other missile systems will get overwhelmed. It's Iranian. That's an Iranian propaganda video. But I'm just showing you the power of some of their stuff, their arsenal. But if I can also show you the United States, you notice how it took 7 or 8 of those to make one 2,000-pound bomb that the U.S. drops.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also going to show you. You go ahead, put it in. We need all the. I mean, it's $2. I mean, we have to start putting donations in. Like, we're getting killed tonight. I've never seen a night like this before. This is horrible. Connor got braces in 2 days. Prayers for a smooth day are welcome. Connor, good luck on braces, metal mouth. We appreciate it. We love you, buddy. But then there's...
I have a hard time putting this one up on the screen.
Why?
Go tell his stars the fact that I have to say that out loud.
Drew, you don't have to say that at all. Don't say it. Andrew Bryant donated $33.33. You notice what? Those numbers, those are Patrick Waugh's numbers. Thanks. Better than Belfour. Dun, 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 dun. Better than Belfour. And he doesn't drink. Eddie the Eagle stumbled like a pigeon.
Right. Thanks, JD. He goes, I forgot the 0.
He forgot the 0.
It wasn't supposed to be $2. It was supposed to be 20.
Oh, thanks. I was like, is there a 0 on the 20? Because now we're going to go home early. Hey, thanks, JD. We appreciate you. But as I just showed you some real videos, I want you guys to tell me what you think. This is going to be for chat, Liv. For chat.
Got it.
All right, chat. Tell me what you think. Is this real or not? Real or not? Is this a real strike or not? Waiting for your... Not real, fake, AI. How do we know it's AI? Not real, sure looks real. Ooh, real, Carrie says. Not real, Darren says. Liv, tell him. What do you think?
I am the worst person in the world to tell what AI is. Ethan just made fun of me for showing him an AI video earlier, and I thought it was real. So,
okay. So,
I am the worst person.
So first of all, it's fake. I will tell you, one is that sound does not match the explosions. Number one. Number two, rockets don't come in that way. And second, the contrail doesn't change and dissipate at a high enough rate. You'll see that the one on the left over there is very expanded. Watch all the contrails, how the first initial strikes don't get bigger than the others. They all stay the same size. There's no concussive wave. There's no fire to create that smoke. And they have literally hit whatever they were trying to hit is obliterated and gone. These aren't cluster munitions. You wouldn't see such a tight grouping of missiles coming in. And the pattern of how they're coming in is completely fake. It's fake. It's AI. Okay? It may look good for a video game or a movie. So this has millions of views, and people are saying that this was Israel. It's not Israel. Okay? Number one. How about this one? Now, Olivia saw this video and was like, oh my God, it's real. Look at that size of that gun.
I didn't say that. I just said that's cool looking.
Right. Watch this.
Holy
First of all, if that was to fire on that vessel would be gone too. Okay? It'd be gone too. You understand? Does everyone understand about atoms and superheating atoms? What would happen to the surrounding area if something of that magnitude could literally just explode a ship of that amount of energy? This isn't the Death Star, for God's sakes. And there is no way that that giant thing is going to generate a laser that big. It's just nonsense. All that water would dissipate. All these people would be dead. See all these people that are on the deck? Dead. Cooked. Okay, so that's fake, folks. But there's people online that's saying that that's real.
That's the whole base. It's gone.
You guys hear railgun and you're like, it's like a railroad track. The railgun is not this. Okay, I can't do this.
Cannon's hot.
What the fuck is this? See, people are so stupid.
See, I knew that one. Yeah, I know that one was fake.
Let me tell you that those turbines would be put out. You guys understand there's a fire in turbines, right? Any plane does this. There's a certain nape of the earth that you can fly at, nap of the earth that you can fly at, and it ain't this. It's not a jet ski, for God's sakes, people. This thing would put itself out. Nice. I like the dissipation of energy as a little puff of smoke. Come on, this isn't water skiing, folks. You understand that turbine needs air to cool. So it's going to suck in. It's just like if you go ahead and run your car muffler over underwater, what's going to happen? It's going to shut your engine down. Same thing here. Whoa. Wow. That's cool.
That thing's coming in.
I hate people. I really do. It's really hard for me to accept the stupidity of people. Needless to say, folks, that's not real. And all these weapon systems that you're seeing, this is conventional warfare. Yes, there are high energy laser weapons. Yes, the railgun is a real thing. Yes, hypersonic missiles are a real thing because they've been in existence for 40 years. I think we need to stop watching too many movies. If anyone had that laser cannon, we wouldn't need wars. I mean, that's like an Independence Day doomsday device, you know?
Thomas Austin, for the politicians, truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only a moment. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Do you have any real ones? Yeah, I've shown them. I've shown some real ones. Here's a real one. Watch this. Let's see. Here you go. Here's a ship being completely demolished. And that happened 11 other times. You might be going, Matt, where's the ship? It's in the bottom of the ocean. That quick. You put a 2,000-pound bomb right out the forecastle. Good night. Toast. But folks, this stuff is a lot like Iraq. Conventional warfare and kinetic warfare has not changed immensely. It's just become more more precise and more lethal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it was for the Japanese to sink as many vessels as they did? Look it up. How many did they sink in Pearl Harbor? Just for shits and giggles for you. And then ask how many Japanese aircraft. 300?
It was like 291 if I'm not mistaken.
300. It's good enough. So Japanese Zeros, bombers, Mitsubishi Zeros with torpedoes, kamikaze diving. How many ships did they take out? Do you know this answer without looking it up?
No. Okay. 4 Navy battleships and damaged many others.
Yep. So all that, 300 planes. We took out 11 frigate size and cutter sized vessels with 11 bombs.
353 aircraft.
That's correct. I forgot. There were multiple waves. Don't worry about it, Tommy. So all those munitions, this is how far we've come. And can I tell you that those vessels that we sank, we weren't even in range. Iran had nothing that could hit us. We launched them and then we waited 35 minutes for them to arrive. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Boop. You want to go get a smoke? Sure. What's our flight time? 35 minutes? Okay. Let's go.
Let's go get some Mickey D's while we're waiting.
Matt said I was going to cover BDA assessments tonight. I can't cover BDA tonight. Unfortunately, I can't. I'll have to wait for Leroy. I want Leroy here when I do it. So I was going to do BDA tonight. I gave you a little taste of some things, but we've got some other stuff in here, but I can't do BDA tonight. But I'll walk you through it. I promise. I'm not going to leave you hanging. Plus, I'm waiting for something else. So there's some other, yeah, I'm waiting. I want the piece de la resistance. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for just 2 videos that I want to see, and I don't have them yet. It's like using a REM 700 chambered in 7mm mag against a person armed with a slingshot. They are outranged. Yeah, you see, we sank 11 vessels. Can you imagine what we'll do to the Chinese Navy? You guys just don't understand the capabilities of the United States of America. You just don't get it. You don't get it. You don't understand what we did going into Iran the way we did. If this is Iraq, we could have done, like Baghdad, we could have had the entire Republican Guard killed. Saddam Hussein, all of his family dead. We could have wiped out all of them in 3 hours. It's a different type of military. The technology is so incredible. AI is amazing. And remember, government has had AI for 25 years. They've militarized it long before they released it to the civilian population. You guys understand this, right? You understand lasers and telephoto lenses and Bluetooth communications and wireless communications and satellite technology was militarized before it came to all these companies. We've had AI for a long time, and we've been using AI for predictive modeling for a long time. It was as simple as SSN built by Tom Clancy. Tom Clancy came in and presented to us in an intelligence center in a JIG and walked us through Russian-made submarines and showed us models of our SSNs going and tracking their boomers. And this was all predictive forecasting on what they could do and what their movements could be. And we used that training to go ahead and track Kilo SSs that are moved from Russia and brought into Iraq. Tom Clancy was a spook. I don't know if you guys know this, but he was CIA. You should know. I mean, most people now know, but he was CIA through and through. He was a government contractor. And a lot of the shit that he put out was information control. It's not a conspiracy. Anyway, moving on. Mullins cooks in an oversight. Listen to this.
Thank you, Chairman. I just feel like I need to respond to some things that the senator was bringing up by accusing the president of pulling out of a nuclear deal in his first term. It was a horrible deal. It was a disastrous deal. It was a deal that we all know that would originally allow Iran to be able to have enrichment to the grade that they could make a nuclear weapon. And then for the senator that was saying that the president needs to come back for reauthorization, I don't remember him saying anything in 2016 when Barack Obama at the time dropped 26,000 bombs.
I didn't know Mullins had a Don't Unfriend Me cup. That looks great.
I know it does. It's perfectly positioned.
In Syria,
awesome.
I just
Pakistan,
moved it over.
Libya, just to name a few. And I definitely don't remember my colleagues in 2013 at all complaining about the president then Barack Obama, going into Syria. And I would like to ask the question then, what threat did Syria have to the United States? What threat did Libya have to the United States during the Arab Spring to which these leaders were removed? And then I would ask the question, what threat did Iran have to us? Do we really need to talk about it? Do we need to talk about how many times they've killed thousands of Americans since 1979? From the first time they took hostages in November
69.
of 1979 to the last time they attacked us in June of 2025?
69. Don't forget they ran proxy for a long time. And there were militia groups and there were extremist groups that were actually running out of Iran off the southern border of Iran, which was more Muslim. And that's still true to this day. So fine, I'll give you 1979. That's fine, but he's still right. Thousands.
And anybody wants to doubt that they were a threat to us, an essential threat to us? Does anybody doubt on that side of the aisle, does anybody doubt that Iran, if or when they got a nuclear weapon, would deliver it to the United States if they have the capability of doing it?
You must have watched
Does anybody
our show last
deny
night, Liv.
that the fact that the president was being proactive on an adversary that has been chanting death to America since 1979? Does anybody deny that Iran was a threat to us?
Listen, there's two people I will go to for firearms here, outside of Bubba and a few others, but Tommy is one and Melanie is the other. Melanie knows her shit, and she surpasses my knowledge on firearms a lot of the time. And she teaches me stuff. And, you know, I consider myself to be a pretty addictive firearms collector and user, but she knows her shit. So I put my seal of approval on her. Her and Tommy, a lot of people know their stuff. A lot of people know their stuff in this room, but Melanie and Tommy rise above. They're usually my go-to. Like Mel is my go-to when I need some reality and I need my dick kicked in. I go to Mel Lowe in Canada because she keeps me grounded.
Our service members, or do we have to remind you how many they've injured and killed through their proxies and through direct action? This is the first president in 7 presidencies that actually did something about the thorn that constantly came after us. And now you criticize him and you say it's illegal? It's not. This same authorization is the same authorization that Democrats and Republican presidents in the past have used. And thank God we had a president with a backbone to finally get rid of this murderous regime. And now we're complaining about it? Remember, legally, he has to respond to Congress or inform Congress within 48 hours. That has happened.
He did that.
And then within 60 to 90 days, he needs to inform Congress if we're going to war and ask for specific war authorities. But the president, through Article 2, clearly has an obligation and the powers under the Constitution to defend our interest home and abroad. And there is no question he's defending our interest. No question. So what is this grandstanding about? Do you think we should have let the Ayatollah in place? Do you think he was a good guy? Are you defending the Ayatollah now?
Well, they offended
or
dictators.
Aren't you glad that America finally stood up and took care of this murderous regime that's been sponsoring terror around the world for 47 years? How about we say thank you, Mr. President, for finally getting rid of this?
This just in, Melanie Marino says, I absolutely love Mel Lowe. I have a low-key Leslie crush on her. Okay, you guys get a room. Seriously, holy schnookums.
Nuisance.
Apparently Melanie's going to Canada instead of a cruise.
Canada.
This murderer, this sponsor of terror, he did the world a favor. And the world is a safer place because of it. You may disagree with a lot of his actions. You may disagree with some of his policies. But you can't deny that this was a threat and an essential growing threat to the United States.
Oh, they will. They will.
Of course they will.
And you want to say he's playing politics and you get the politics behind it, Mr. Peters? You guys are playing politics. You guys are the ones that are grandstanding. The president's doing his job as commander-in-chief. And I think at one time or next, we should say thank you. Thank you for being a strong leader. But there's no...
That'd be nice. Mel asked a good question. He said, who's going to take care of, who's going to take control of Kark Island? IDF or USA? Iran. Persia, hopefully. Hopefully they rename it. Hopefully they have a republic. Hopefully they have a framework for a constitutional republic. That'd be nice. But I don't know that they're probably going to have a theocratic republic again. And I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that as long as it's just not religious despotism. So if you want Iran to not fall into a vacuum state, is you got to let them have money, but you have to control where that money goes. And they need to rebuild, and they need to, get on the open trade market, and they need to trade their goods and all those things. And we're slowly going to release 5%, 10%, 12%. We're going to watch them like hawks. Right now, I don't know. The United States hasn't done what they're doing with Venezuela. They're not literally babysitting the government. We're at war, conflict, combat, whatever you want to call it. That hasn't been settled yet. We need to see what the Iranian people are going to do. I'll tell you this: the Iranian people need to rise up, and they need to take control of their country. And if they don't, Donald Trump's done whatever all that he can do.
Yeah, I mean, they started a couple of months ago. They just need to finish it now.
Yeah. That's it. So I don't know. But, you know, if we start taking territory and start taking over, you know, energy and start taking over the Suez, I mean, we can run security for those things. I think we should oversee security for Cark Island. I think we should do security for the Suez Canal. I think we should do security for the Persian Gulf. I think we should establish U.S. bases on the west coast of Iran that are floating bases. I don't want to build a flotilla. I don't want to be like Joe Biden, what an idiot. But
build the train across the ocean.
Yeah, but I would have naval presence on the western side of Iran. Olivia, this is the center I gave your info to for the show. Hi, Christine. Good to see you. Iranian woman speaks out. This is pretty good. She's from Iran. That's why she's called an Iranian woman. Listen to this.
I am an Iranian who lives in Tehran, and I can hear the sound of bombing outside.
What? Sorry.
In case I'm dead tomorrow, I just want you to remember this. Please.
I agree with you, Mel. I didn't think about it. Your question was good. I'm perplexed. I haven't given it any thought. I haven't thought about economic division at this point of divvying up. You know, should the United States oversee their oil production? Maybe. Should we run security for the Suez? Yeah. Should we have presence in the Gulf to ensure that Iranian Navy and vessels can get through? Yep. So what does that look like logistically? I don't know. Not yet. I just haven't thought about it, kiddo. Good question.
Shut the fuck up and don't use me against America or Israel to try and convince them to stop. We ask for this. We want this attack. And I know that you don't want to listen to us. You don't want to listen, but I'm going to give you the shorter version of why we want this. The reason is we had one option, to go and protest this bloody regime, and we did, and they killed 40,000 of us in 2 days. This is the last option we have. We asked for the help, and the help is here. And I know I might die, and I don't care, because I'm willing to sacrifice my life for Iran. And you just shut the fuck up and don't use me to attack anyone or try to stop this. We want this. You don't understand. You're not in our shoes. So shut the fuck up. That was a message from one of our Iranian sisters, and she asked me to share this with you. So shut the fuck up. Yeah.
I like her. Good for her.
I mean, they killed 40,000 of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and be like, oh, well, what about Gazans? Well, I'll tell you what, you certainly seem really pissed off about Gazans, but you certainly don't care about Iranians.
Apparently not.
These people are fighting for their freedom. Go ahead, babe.
I think people who try to say like they've been a part of something or they've gone through something and they haven't, and they try to defend that or speak out against something and they have no idea what they're talking about. I agree. Shut the F up. I mean, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like the white people saying, oh, white people are racist. White people are racist against black people. You're white. Seriously, why are you
Well, we should have asked white liberals if it was okay to free all those women.
I mean, you know, apparently, because that would be like me trying to train people on how to use a firearm. I know how to use one, but I am not in any position teach people how to use one.
Right.
Or that would be like you teaching people how to change a diaper.
I know how to change a diaper. I was a master at it. I just hated doing it. You didn't like picking up puke. What do you think about Spain refusing to use their airspace? I think Spain and Morocco are two of the largest terrorist nations outside of Iran, and they shouldn't be trusted. So with all due respect, Spain. They should get their own shit together. They've been in a perpetual state of civil war for 30 years. I'm not upset at you, Shara. Cheryl. Fuck Spain. Like, it's a place that I would love to see, but they've got their own problems. But Moroccans are not. They have a lot of Somalis in Spain and Portugal. Morocco is not the most stable place in the world. They're very similar to Egypt. What's that?
It's somebody sending something to Messenger.
Who's Casey?
And somebody I went to school with.
What? It's a guy?
Mm-hmm.
Why is a guy talking to you from school?
I think he sends it to a
Social Security number. No, you're not going to kill him, honey. I'm just kidding, by the way. But my point is 2% of Spain, if that. What? I missed it. I know someone's talking about something, but what about Spain?
2%.
John said 2% Spain, if that. I don't know what that means.
It might be responding to somebody. Let me look.
Yeah, no, I'm interested to find out.
I don't know. It's a standalone comment, so not sure.
So to give you guys an idea, the Basque separatist group, ETA, were carried around the bombing, assassinations, kidnapping, late 1960s, 2018. 800 deaths, 2004 Madrid train bombings, 193 people, about 2,000 of them. Yeah, so the Basque separatist group is extremely violent. Morocco had the Casablanca bombings. Portugal had the militant, the FP25, carried out bombings and assassinations. So there's been a history of terrorism and violence in those countries as well. Yep. And Islamic invasion. I mean, these are, like I said, very much like Egypt, in a perpetual state of conflict. What they contribute for their budget for defense. Thanks, buddy. So, I don't care about Spain. I could care less. The connection between the Moroccans and the fight over. Okay, so do we have to go over some of this? Okay, so let me do this for you.
Hey, put up the countdown clock real quick.
Oh, are we that bad? Well, why don't you tell people what's going on so we can fix this?
All right. If anyone has the ability to donate, you can go to thedumbshow.com/donate. Our show relies on viewers like you and donations to help us. We will always remain a free show, and we will never put our stuff behind a paywall, but we rely on your generosity to help us keep it that way, because we don't have a big sponsor and Facebook has neutered our ability to make money. We make a little bit off of them, but
those bastards,
it's not much. They still owe us a lot of money.
Yep.
But it's not much. So we rely on the generosity of you guys.
So we need some
love
help.
you for it.
We need
and
some
if
help,
you
folks.
can't donate, that's fine. Just share us out, share, and
yeah. And we have
word of
93
mouth.
likes right now. We've got 200 some odd people on. So if you guys just hit the like button, that would make a big difference. So if you take a look at Spain, Portugal, and Morocco's on the southern side. This is the Iberian Peninsula. But take a look at Algeria is right off to the side. So there is a ton of Moroccan forced immigration and displacement that happens in Spain and Portugal, and the entire southern side of Spain and southern side of Portugal has a lot of Muslim influence and a lot of Moroccan replants. This is why you see these groups. They are close trade partners. The only thing that separates them is Strait of Gibraltar. From 711 to 1492, Spain and Portugal ruled by Muslim dynasties. North Africa during the Al-Andalus. Moroccan-based empire. Political connection. Spain controls two small cities on the Moroccan coast called Ceuta and Melilla, which creates ongoing political migration issues between the countries. So when I say Morocco and Spain and Portugal is because they have actual connections, and the cities in Morocco are actually predominantly Spain run and controlled. So this is why Portugal, Spain, and Morocco are all interconnected in our conversation. Does that make sense?
Do we still have a base in the Azores?
Ooh, that's a good question. Frederick said he was wrong. Frederick, what?
It looks like they're doing a full chat.
I'm not upset. I'm just reading.
No, I'm just letting you know. They're talking to, there's a chat going on.
Azores base, yeah.
Give me some maps. I don't think it's U.S., is it? Yeah. Okay, that's Lajes Field. Lajes. That's Portuguese and U.S. military. So yes, but it's co-opted. So it's a Portuguese base, but the U.S. uses it, but not for anything important. Okay.
Shelley's husband was stationed there.
Oh, well, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that answers the question about Morocco, Portugal, and without going into an entire history lesson, just know that there is a ton of Arabic influence and Muslim influence that's been pushed up into Spain and Portugal, and there are a lot of terrorist groups and civil war and conflicts that happen. It's very much like Egypt. It's very imbalanced. It's very unstable. Spain was one of the first capitulators supporting the Nazis. That's true. She's absolutely right. Mel said that. That's correct. So there's a lot of history of Spain choosing the wrong side, and they're doing it again. So there it is. I don't even think they were an ally. They were part of the Axis of Evil. Yes, in World War II. Yes. History, folks. It's fun.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Black in America, The View. Let's listen to this.
Let's just remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing.
Let's
not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
No.
I'm sorry, but where the Iranian regime is today in 2025 is nothing compared to the United States.
Hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step foot wearing this outfit.
Wait. That's not what you mean to say. It is the same.
No, it's not. The year 2025 in the United States is nothing like if I step foot wearing this outfit in Tehran.
Killed for I'm sorry.
Well, they wear like listen, I can't have my hair showing. I can't wear a skirt. I can't have my arms out.
I'm telling you,
I literally said it was up to the Iranian people.
Yes.
It is up to them.
And that's why I'm
going to bring up Megyn Kelly and cook her in a second. But folks, $76.43. We appreciate it. We love it. But we are uber short. We got 13 minutes. And we are not in a good spot. Need some help with donations if we have a chance to do that. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Saying that it is the same. Murdering someone for their
Thomas says, no, they were technically neutral. Spain? I thought they came out with oh, no, I'm thinking of Buenos Aires and South America. I apologize. You're right. I don't know if Spain was neutral per se, but I don't believe they were Axis of Evil.
Paul just donated. I think it flashed up too quick. Sorry.
Would you go ahead and do it?
It says, in and out tonight. All I can manage for now. Wish it was more. Love you guys. Thanks, Paul. That is enough. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Let me look. I think you're right. Was not a part of Access, but it was closely aligned. Yeah, because Francisco Franco was, absolutely. No, they may have been not declared, but they absolutely supported Hitler and Mussolini. Non-belligerent rather than neutral early in the war, meaning it supported the Axis politically, but not formally joined the war.
And CJ Jenkins just donated. For some reason, it didn't pop up over the video. So thank you,
It
CJ.
closed again. Mother humper. Hold on.
So thank you,
Hold on.
CJ.
We got to fix
Appreciate it.
this.
Yeah, I know.
Mother of pearl. Were the other ones popping up?
Everyone popped up except for the last two during this video, but they all popped up before that.
Let me just see this. Hold on. Come on. That's why. I'm fixing it. Okay, now it should work.
There, I see it. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. And did you call people out? 118,
Yes, it was
63?
just two. But thank you very much.
All right, let me move this. So Spain they let them use their ports and their territory. It joined Germany, or it never formally joined. Franco avoided entering the conflict. Portugal, under Salazar, remained officially neutral. So it was Portugal. Spain was Axis friendly, but officially neutral. Portugal was neutral, leaned toward the Allies. Okay, thanks. But in reality, they supported Germany. Yeah, I'm with you. I was thinking of Buenos Aires. I don't know why I went to South America. My
my brain. They're Mexicans. They're all Mexicans. That's the problem. They're Mexicans. They're all Mexicans. If they would just like declare themselves something other than Mexicans, I'd be able to fix this.
Horrible.
Okay. All right. Let's go into next. First of all, the View. Liv, did you want to comment on that it's worse for black people in the United States than it is in Iran?
Sure. For one, whoever was standing up to Whoopi, she was doing a great job. Thank you, Melanie.
She's amazing.
Appreciate it. Yeah, she was great. She wasn't taking any of course she is. She wasn't taking any of Whoopi's crap.
Right.
And that was great. She was standing up for herself. But yeah, comparing 2025 America to 2025 Iran, there is no comparison.
No, not at all. So for black people is what she was saying.
Oh, yeah.
She was saying for blacks. I mean, it's...
I don't know many black people that live in Iran, though.
No. She's saying, oh my God, woman. She's saying that people in America have it worse being black now than Iranians do in Iran.
Whoopi.
Yeah. Give me a break. As she sits there and makes millions of dollars.
Her one brain cell is tired and needs to stop for the day.
Listen, and for her to sit here and play like suffrage Olympics.
Exactly.
Yeah, black people have been treated horribly. We're well aware of that. But even in the worst of times, even during slavery, yes, atrocities took place. Yes, it was horribly horrendous. Kevin Bernard donate $10. Thank you, Ken. Kevin, I'm still sick. I still can't kick this thing.
You sound better. You're not as congested as you were last night. You sound
I still don't
better.
feel great though. Hold. Liv.
Okay.
So that's sometimes we get bigger donations and we want to try to, have people keep, I don't like it when just like 2 or 3 people are the ones that fill it in. I like everyone kind of small donations to pitch in. So that's important to me. But yeah, like to sit here and compare that black people have it worse today than people in Iran. First of all, none of those women would be alive. Every single one of them would have been decapitated and killed in a morning freaking right after.
Or acid thrown on them for their mouths for what they're saying.
Yeah.
They would have absolutely no rights there.
Yeah. So it's just a stupid argument. Now, even 1960s is not even close to Iran. Even the days of slavery aren't even close to Iran. I hate to say this, and nobody's going to like me when I say this, and I really don't want you to get on my shit. But slaves were expensive. They didn't want them to die. And yes, some were absolutely treated horrifically. And every one of them were treated horrifically. But the levels and degrees of that were severe in some areas. And really the ultra-rich plantation owners that owned hundreds upon hundreds of slaves, they could be extremely brutal and horrible. But most slave owners protected their slaves from sickness and beatings and all of that type of stuff because they were extremely expensive. And don't get mad at me. In their eyes, that would like be going out to your cattle farm and killing your most prized bulls. Hate to say that. But that's the way they looked at it. They looked at them as product. They looked at them as livestock, not as human beings. And that is atrocious. But slavery is still alive in Iran today. It's still alive. So it's been bad for a lot of people. So if we're going to play suffrage Olympics, then Whoopi has no leg to stand on because we can just say Christians. So in Iran, the basic freedoms that we have here, the most basic, are not allowed in Iran. So
women have no rights in
right.
Iran.
Little
Period.
tired of it. Oh, well, how do you know? What? All you have to do is look at Iran before 1979 and then after, and that should answer your question. Look at a woman in Iran in 1979 and then 1978, and then look at them in 1984, and you tell me. All right. Megyn Kelly. Oh, Megyn.
I have something to say about her.
Oh, you're not going to like this.
Oh, I watched it. I have something very much to say.
Deshaun says in the colony's infancy, slaves had...
Whoa.
What was that? What do you want?
Why are you barking at us?
What's wrong? Come here. Ash.
I think she wants out.
What's wrong? Hey, E, come get your dog.
She's barking.
What's wrong, baby?
She wants to say something about the show. I don't know.
Are you mad at Megyn Kelly too?
Yeah, I understand.
Oh, you're going to get attacked. If you come through those curtains, dog's going to jump on you. She's going to get you. Sneak in.
I have no idea what she's barking. Oh, gosh.
Oh, shit. She's going to go get him. She just hauled ass after Ethan. All right. So let me read this again because I want to read this by Deshaun.
Okay.
Says, in the colony's infancy, slaves had like twice the life expectancy of indentured servants, debt slaves, and regular settlers. They were properly like machinery to these people. You're absolutely right, Deshaun. Is it Deshante? I think it's Deshante. It's not Deshaun. Either way, Deshaun or Deshante. It's a big difference because it's either a he or she. But either way, I really appreciate your comment because it's true. And a lot of people can't have that conversation. They get all, oh, well, black people didn't have it good. I didn't say that. I'm just saying most slave owners invested in their slaves, as treated them like property, as like livestock, and they treated them well because they wanted their investment to continue to provide them money and work. That's a new one.
Yep.
That's a new one. It's a big one. Go ahead and put them both in. Outstanding. Thank you. So just to give you guys an idea. Okay. Hey, and if you guys can start doing us a favor, since we're on Rumble, if you're donating, you're helping us out and you're from Rumble, would you let us know, or you're from Spreely TV? That helps us tremendously when we know that, because we have our usual viewers, but when we see somebody come in like this and who we don't know, Kevin Jolly, unless it is somebody we know, we like to know where you're from. So if you're
welcome to the show.
If you're from Spreely, it's great to see you and wonderful to have you. We just made goal, by the way. We have another donation coming in from a good friend, Mel, and wanted to say we love you guys and appreciate you. So thank you, Mel. Also, thank you. So just so people understand, for Whoopi to say this is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
103.48, go to goal. Thank you, Mel. We love you.
Thank you, Mel.
African Americans have had massive amounts of success in the United States. They have been an integral part of inventions. They have helped our country move forward in more ways than one. And a lot of people like Nick Fuentes and Stu Peters say, oh, well, black people haven't done anything or invented anything. And that's bullshit. It's complete fabrication. From our music to agriculture to the way we treat livestock, the way we move cattle across the country. We can go into Nobel laureates. We can go into poets and scholars and novelists, actors, musicians. It's complete bullshit. African American culture is American culture. And I don't even like calling it African American. The only reason I do that is to make a distinction between white people. And I really don't appreciate it when blacks subjugate everyone and relegate them to a slave mentality, because that's just not the way it is. And it's just bullshit. If you talk to any black person in America, most of them, just like most white people, will tell you it's the greatest country on earth. So enough of that. Yeah. Megyn Kelly.
Megyn Kelly.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Enjoy.
Massive divisions over what we've done here. And
I just want to say something. I had a crush on you, lady, but you are an ugly person. And I hope that dress chokes your ass. I've always wanted to say you don't have the boobs for it. I'm just going to tell you, Megyn, I'm not happy with you. You turned into the grift. You went the way of Tucker. And here's the thing. Ben Shapiro has now broken Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and Candace Owens. For you guys talking shit about Ben Shapiro, he's got some wicked voodoo magic going on, because he has broken all three of them. All right, here's the rest, and Olivia's got it.
people are going to change their minds over the coming days and weeks, one way or the other. But my own feeling is no one should have to die for a foreign country. I don't think those 4 service members died for the United States. I think they died for Iran or for Israel. I think I understand how this helps Iran perfectly well. I get it. I mean, I hope. Long term, we'll see. But they seem rather jubilant. 80% of the country does not support the Ayatollah. He was a terrible, terrible man. No one's crying that he's dead. No normal person. But
unless you're
our government's job is not to look out for Iran or for Israel. It's to look out for us. And this feels very much to me like it is clearly Israel's war. Mark Levin wanted it. It's his war. Ben Shapiro, Lindsey Graham, Miriam Adelson. That's obvious.
Griff those dollars. Griff those dollars, Megyn. All right, Liv, go get her.
She's definitely on my list. she needs to get some color in her wardrobe, enough black. And it's she's going a little like emo.
Yeah.
Or looking like you're going to a funeral or something.
Yeah.
That is a complete insult to say about those service people that died. They didn't die for Israel. They were American soldiers.
Yeah.
And they sacrificed their lives for America because it's not Israel's war. It's America's war too. And we did it because Iran is a huge threat to us.
No, they're not. They're so far away.
And saying death to America for the last 47 years, yeah, they're a big threat to us. And they deserve everything they get. And the fact that that is the second person I have heard say that those service people died for a different country. They didn't die for a different country. They died for America. And you are doing nothing to honor them and honor their sacrifice. Yep. And if I was one of their family members and I saw you face to face, you'd be lying on the ground when I was done with you.
I agree.
It is absolutely horrible what she just said. Horrible. She is a very despicable person now.
Bodies aren't even cold yet, lady.
She's despicable. And honestly, she's on my list higher than Candace and Tucker at this point.
Oh, well.
Candace is just freaking loony and crazy.
Like Megan knows better. Megan knows better.
Candace is just freaking nuts. And at this point, anything crazy that comes out of her mouth, like, oh my God, it doesn't surprise me. Candace is almost pure entertainment. And it's kind of funny to watch her melt down. Tucker is just annoying and I've come
Tucker
to
runs
expect
proxy
it.
on his ideas.
So I've come to, but Megyn Kelly, I didn't expect this from her.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this from her. I mean, I saw a little bit when she realized that she's starting to lose viewers because she's not on the Jew train. So she jumped on it a little bit. I get that. And whatever she wants to do to keep herself relevant. But this, no, you've crossed a line and you're in my crosshairs. And Megyn Kelly, I hope you see this because you're in my crosshairs and you are completely effing wrong. And you owe those service people an apology and their family members an apology. You are absolutely 100% wrong.
Can I get her now?
Yes, you may.
Hey, Megan, do me a favor and why don't you just stick to being Timu Nancy Grace and the National fucking Enquirer and focusing on Ryan Reynolds and his batshit crazy wife. Because that's what you're good at. You're a celebrity B reporter. And you're smart. You're a hell of a litigator. But you need to stay in your fucking lane. You've never served. You have no idea what you're talking about. The only contract you sign is for an additional frickin' 10 gigs of speed with Comcast. You've never put your life on the line. You've never been a combat reporter. You've lived a sheltered existence. You make millions upon millions of dollars. And you should go back covering the shit that you're good at, which is essentially the rumor circuit of Hollywood. But every time you get into the political fray, like truly get into the political fray, and it's not real heartfelt analysis based upon the law, and you bring emotion into it, you take the wrong take. And it's so obvious you're just shilling for Tucker. You're shilling for those Qatari dollars. You've gotten a taste for this now. And you have been dethroned by Candace Owens and people like Tucker and people like Fuentes, and you can't stand it. Lady, this is what happens when you get old. Okay? I'm 52 years old. Do I have any illusions that I'm going to break into this game? No, it's a younger man's game. Now, there will be an audience that watches me, and the older I get, I'm in the go-between. I still have color in my beard and my hair. Don't even talk about my dye. Shut up, Liv.
I wasn't going to say that. You're the one who opened your mouth.
Everyone knows I dye my beard. But I haven't dyed it in quite a while. It's doing pretty good. I get a little bit of gray.
You're still sexy.
I know. So the thing is that I'm in the in-between stages. But when I go silver, I'll put on a tie or a shirt. I'll get out of this look. But honestly, I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that she knows better. And you gave up your friendship with Ben Shapiro so you could make money.
It's pretty fucking despicable. And I'm sorry to cuss. I know Graham Allen went off on her. We're going to play that here in a second. But first, I'm going to show her being cooked by The View. Because the lady that Liv thinks is good looking on The View had this to say, too.
Kelly's clip that we ran before saying who those troops died for. How dare you, Megyn Kelly? How dare you tell a military person who has sacrificed their lives for our nation in our uniform, when they are sacrificing their lives in our uniform, how dare you tell them or their families or our nation what they died for?
Oh, you better be careful. She'll come right back at you.
I'm
She's
not
like
afraid
a
of her.
roller derby.
I'm not afraid of her. But I have my heart with my friends in the military. You do not get to authorize who they died for. So let me just clear that up. So I'm not, and I come here, I may vote Republican and I'm a conservative, but I'm a thinking woman. And I have a heart with this war or military attack. Well, are you glad that the leaders there are gone, that they're not flinging women off buildings and gay people off buildings?
Well, one thing I'd like to bring up is
another conservative. At least The View is trying to have. They used to have them all the time, and then they got rid of them. Here is Graham Allen.
Can I say something about that clip?
Sure,
real quick?
Go for it.
It makes me wonder, listening to that clip, that if they have signs up for the audience of when they can clap and cheer, or if their audience is just complete zombies and only just whatever Whoopi says, I will clap for. Whatever they say, I will. Sunny is awesome. Right. Because the fact that she got like 5 claps with what she said, and then maybe she got 10 claps on the second thing that she said, is appalling. When yet they stand up and woo and freaking cheer and Trump's a pedo. Yay! Oh my gosh, yay! It's ridiculous. And anyone who goes to The View and acts like that, you're appalling as well.
Yeah. Listen, and people are coming and go, Matt, it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you look like. No, I don't care about that. What I'm trying to say is that the younger audience doesn't relate to me because I'm too old, and the older audience I don't necessarily relate to at all times because I'm still too impetuous and have a mouth on me and I cuss a lot. So it's me finding that balance. And I think in the next 2 years, I will probably reach my best potential. I'm already seeing changes in how I present. I'm certainly seeing changes in how I interact with our audience, especially our loyal listeners, is I used to combat you guys sometimes. And I would take challenges as negatives, and that's just me growing, and it's a maturation process. So I think I'll be the best version of myself in the next 2 years. So that's just my goal, is to be better at what I do than I am today. Speaking of that, here's Graham Allen, who I really like, and I get compared to a lot, which is interesting. I guess it's the tattoos,
it's the tattoos and the beard,
and the hat. But
and
here's
conservative.
Here's Graham Allen, and he makes some really good points, and he goes off and cooks Meg.
Here is a clip from Megyn Kelly, and I'm going to keep this as professional as I can.
My own feeling is
we know each other.
I think they died for Iran or for Israel.
We know each other. I know we've had our differences here. You need to issue today an apology and a retraction of this statement. And let me tell you why. It doesn't matter your thoughts for or against the attacks on Iran. It doesn't matter if you're pro a conflict or anti a conflict. You've never raised your right hand to serve a day in your life.
Whoop.
You've never put on the uniform. And those warfighters who paid the ultimate price raised their hand to serve their country, and they died in the service of doing what our country, their country, asked them to do.
Yes, sir.
And for you to say what you said, that you don't believe that they died for the United States, it is a slap in the face of them. It is a dishonor to their ultimate sacrifice they made. It is a ultimate disrespect to their families. And maybe you didn't mean it that way.
Yes,
and I'm giving you the chance right now, today on your show, you need to apologize. You can hate this conflict with Iran, but don't you dare take away the fact that those warfighters gave their life for their country, on which they raised their right hand and swore an oath to this country.
Amen.
Listen, it's a great point, but I don't want to apologize. Forced contrition is the worst. You meant it. Just say it. Just stick to your guns. You meant it. And be like, you know what? I think they did die for this.
Oh.
I think they did die for this war. And they died for Israel. And okay, but here's the thing. I'm going to just say it in a different way. Megyn Kelly's not going to watch this. But maybe somebody will clip it. I don't know. But here it is. And I'm just going to go past what Graham Allen said. Every single veteran knew what we were signing up for. And we went and did a job that is fairly thankless. Some of us had ribbons when we came home. Some of us got nothing. Some of us got spit on. Not I. A lot of veterans still haven't even been welcome home. That's why every time I see a Vietnam veteran, I say welcome home and go shake their hand. We push gravity until the entire room rains. We run. We train. We're scared. We eat shitty food. We eat good food. We go to places all over the world that makes us miss our home. We do it in the morning. We do it at the night. We do the balls to four watch. We clean and repetitive clean, and train and repetitive train. We do all of these things. And at least this should be holy sacrament. This should be written on the tablets coming down from Mount Sinai. That when one of our service members gives their life, it's not your fucking story to tell. It's the brothers and sisters who bled with them and the parents, not yours. You are stealing their honor. You're stealing their story and making it your own, which makes you probably the sickest bitch I've seen in this space in a long time. And I will use the word capital BITCH. I don't want your apology. I want you to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're crossing a line. And I'll tell you, at least the black pillars on the right and the left, we can all agree pretty much that you respect our troops. Maybe not all of them. Maybe there's about 4% on one side and 4% on the other that don't respect our troops. But we've been there in the country. We've disparaged our troops. We've spit on them. We've called them baby killers. We wouldn't hire them. We threw feces at them when they came home. We've already done this shit, and we're not doing it again. And it's the same thing that people hate the Jews, like you, Megyn. Because I got your subtle innuendo about the Jewish people and how you pointed it at them and Tucker's. And I know you guys got all your talking notes in line that Donald Trump did this for Netanyahu. Well, Donald Trump came on and said, Netanyahu didn't push me. In fact, it's the opposite. I had to push them. Just shut your face. You don't know what you're talking about.
You have a better voice than Graham Allen. That's what That's what CJ said.
I got a big too.
Might look alike. Your voice is better smooth, is what CJ said.
I completely agree. Thank you. 95.5 KLOS. I like Graham Allen. Listen,
I reached out to him.
Listen, I don't care. She's a bitch.
At this point, yep.
And until she retracts, I'm sick of her. I'm sick of her riding the fence. At least I can respect Nick Fuentes. I at least respect him because he's just like, I'm not a fan of Jews. I'm not a fan of blacks. I don't believe there should be integration. I think women suck. At least he says it. Tucker Carlson, the Hodge twins, really? They did a commercial for us. You know, I don't play it anymore. I wonder why. Maybe it's because I've seen shit like this everywhere. How about this? Over on X, don't care if we lose all of our followers over this war. We won't stay quiet about Americans getting sent to die for Israel. Then on the other page on Facebook, if you don't want your sons and daughters to fight in a Trump war, vote Democrats in 2026. We're not in a war. It's just military strikes. Democrats, like you said, Trump was taking us to war with Venezuela. What happened there? Then over on Twitter, J.D. Vance knows sending Americans to the Middle East to die ain't what the base voted for. But then over on the right side on Facebook, Democrats got totally blindsided when Iranian immigrants in the U.S. started dancing over Khomeini's death.
Now, here's the thing with that. They have openly admitted they run their Twitter page, and they are the ones who personally put out what is put on Twitter.
Yeah.
Facebook, they have somebody else that does it for them, and they openly admitted it, which means If you really want to know where the Hodge twins fall and what their opinion is, go to X, because Facebook, it's somebody else.
But it doesn't. But that's so disingenuous. And they're playing both sides, which Facebook is more liberal left, and X has turned more conservative and anti-Jew, and they're making money on both sides. You know, listen, I may be a small-time podcaster, but my opinions are my own. And in fact, we just turned down someone who wanted to come onto the show, and tell them why.
I was told when I reached out to this person that I had to go through lawyers to invite them on the show. And then the media and public relations person who works in said lawyer's office reached out to me today. And what they wanted is they wanted us to post some of their stuff on our page to make sure that we got the adequate number of views before they would let this person on our show. And I very politely declined. So that person, I will not say who it is, will not be on our show unless they decide to reach back out to us. But I'm done with that topic of conversation.
Nobody tells me what to post. Nobody will ever tell me what to post. And your Facebook interactions aren't good, well, then I'm the show you should come to, because we have millions of interactions. And although our live shows may only have a couple hundred people on them at any given time, or 100 people, it still gets views. Our memes get views. People watch our show. They know who we are. Because when I talked to the older millennial, it took him 5 seconds to reply and said, dude, this is going to be a blast. I'm coming on your show. He knows who I am. And I know who he is because we see each other's stuff.
Which is awesome.
And so for that person, you're relevant for another 6 months. What are you going to do? You're going to be begging people to take you on, and I'm going to remember that. So you're not going to control what I post. I'm not going to post something for my viewers just to get you on my show. You're not that important. Nobody's that important. And if I had, there's people who know Joe Rogan who watch our show, and they are actively working on getting me on with Rogan. And if Rogan came to me and said, listen, man, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to go ahead and promote Joe Rogan podcast for 6 months before you do that. You know what I'd say? Go fuck yourself. You don't need me. I need you. One post and I go thermonuclear. You talk about me one time and I get 100,000 follows. I talk about you for 6 months and you might get a couple hundred follows because everyone already knows who you are. So if you're not willing to help out a small podcast because you think that your shit doesn't stink, I don't want you on my show. This is another reason why I probably will never grow. Because the one stopping point. I will turn down $1 million contract if they say, but you've got to do this, and this, and change. Nope. Not a chance.
This is homegrown.
No, you can help, but you can provide feedback and say, maybe I think this would be better for you if we're going to get into business together. Well, that's completely different. We're not difficult to work with. But telling us
what we have to do or what we have to say.
Matt, you got to say negative things about Israel. Well, I'll say negative things about Israel when Israel deserves to have negative things said about it. And I have. And I'll say negative things about Iran when they deserve, which they do. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do with your shows. Don't tell me what to do with mine. Make sense? Good. Drew, I don't know who Drew is. Sorry.
They're talking about Darla was saying that her cousin came home from Vietnam in a flag-covered coffin.
So see, that's what I'm talking about. To her. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You don't get to tell that. It's not your story to tell. I can't tell you how many times when I was in retail or the military that I had to look at people and I said, hey, shut up. It's not your story to tell. It's not my place to tell you Tonto's story. I let Tonto tell his story. It's not my job to tell you about T.S. Dixon's book. Let him do it. That's his story to tell. And if anyone tries to tell my story, you damn Skippy, I'm going to tell you to shut your face. There needs to be respect in this thing. There needs to be a level of respect in this, and there isn't. You know, and I'm watching people, and my palate is changing. You know, there's a guy named Andrew from the Whatever podcast. I can't remember his last name, but I've had him on the show, and he's a master debater. But I'll be honest with you, he sees the forest through the trees, and he's wrong sometimes. But he attacks the argument and not the other person. And when he loses, he sometimes does that. But I would rather just have a conversation with people. This whole debate bro scene is pathetic. It really is. I mean, what are we, nerds? Debate me, bro. It used to be like, you know what? I'm going to knock your dick in the dirt, you know? But now it's like,
let's play Madden football for let's have a dance-a-thon. What? How about we just talk? How about we stop pretending that you're on this side and I'm on this side, and let's just find out where we agree so we can have a good conversation. That's why I wish more people. Andrew Wilson, yeah. I like him. Yeah. Well, when you have David Ducon and Nick Fuentes and Dan Blazarian all within a month, you basically are Uncle Tom sellouts. I mean, I've never seen black racists before against their own color, but holy shit.
Who are you talking, the Hodge twins?
Yeah, the Hodge twins don't like black people very much. It's kind of weird. All right. LA News had to admit that Trump won. Liv, tell me about it.
LA, there was a crap ton of people that decided to come out and show their appreciation of what's going on in Iran.
Okay, let's watch it.
And here in Southern California, hundreds of Iranian Americans rallied and celebrated the deaths of Iran's supreme leader. Some who even said they were opposed to President Trump before are now praising his military action.
Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pulliam is live in Westwood this evening with more on the rally and how people there are reacting to the strikes in Iran. Tim.
Yeah, Liz, Jory, the group was celebrating here all afternoon. They have since gone home. They say what is happening in Iran is a moment for change. You just heard from an Iranian woman who essentially said Iranians are large in numbers and they want new leadership. This event drew hundreds of people to the streets. Air 7 showed the massive crowd gathered outside the federal building in Westwood. They waved Iranian flags along with the American and the Israel flags. There were messages thanking President Donald Trump and Israel for striking their native land, killing Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei. They say for decades he left the country broken and oppressed.
I'm here to celebrate free Iran. I'm here to celebrate all the people that have recently died, make sure that their deaths were not in vain, and make sure that we're here to remember them.
For the first time in 47 years, the people of Iran have risen against darkness, against evil, and they know their only hope is President Trump and Israel. Together, we get together, and it's the only hope, the only chance we have to get rid of this evil regime.
The atmosphere has been festive all afternoon with dancing and singing, and despite the casualties from this conflict, they believe Iran will be able to thrive under new leadership.
I think the people in Minnesota and other places should take note of that. And that is how you peacefully do something.
Yeah.
Your peaceful protests
right.
are not peaceful. So, but it's really good to see that.
Yeah. Like, listen, and people are like, well, you don't like people waving Mexican flags. No, I don't like people waving Mexican flags without U.S. flags. I don't like people waving Mexican flags when they're throwing dog shit and ice blocks at ICE and officers. No, I don't like that. And if there were Iranians doing the same thing, I'd tell them to go piss up a rope. But you notice there were Israel flags. These people are Persian. These people have Arabic influence. They are under Sharia law, Shiite Sharia law, but still. And they have Jewish Israel flags and American flags. You know, I'm really getting sick and fucking tired of people saying Israel is the bastion of evil. You people have never been to the Middle East. You have no idea what you're talking about. You just don't know what you're saying. And it's fine. It's fine. You can live in ignorance. And I'm going to chalk it up to youth and just that you're going along with the thing. But the stuff that you're saying, we've already done this. We've already had the Third Reich. We already repudiated them from history. And there was a reason why. You guys are so blind to what evil truly is, and you have no idea what's happening in the world because you've never served anything other than yourself. So, you know, it's a shame.
Yeah. Or they've never met. I mean, I've met many Muslim people, many, but I've also met a couple of male Muslims that were new to the country, and they sure thought, and they sure treated me like they were still in their native country.
Yeah.
And they were not very nice. And people just don't understand. Yep. They just don't understand what it's like. And I've never been over there. I can't speak from experience. I can only speak to what I've seen, what I've studied, what I've researched, and what I've heard from you. I can only speak about that. I cannot say, yes, I've experienced it, because I haven't. Just because a rude man came into where I work and treated me horrible doesn't mean I've experienced what it's like to live over there. But people defend this and act like they know exactly what's going on, and they know what's going on, and they know what the Iranian people want, and they don't want this. No. You don't know what you're talking about. So
silence.
Yeah.
I kill you.
Rubio Cooks, here it is. We're going to be out of here. Folks, if you haven't had a chance to donate, we can always overdrive a little bit more, and we appreciate that. It's about 4 minutes left. We're in overtime, and we want to say thank you. It looks like we're getting some new donations from Spreely TV, which is exciting, and I know we're being watched on Spreely.
That's awesome.
Which is exciting, and we really want to welcome you guys here, and also everyone on Rumble and Facebook and X and YouTube as well. I mean, we appreciate you. So it's good to see. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we low-key growing on Instagram. I think we're at 32,000 followers. You guys remember 4 months ago we were at 800. So Instagram is growing really fast, which is great to see. So we appreciate you. Make sure if you have a chance to go follow us on all those channels. Here is Marco Rubio, and then we're going to wrap it up with Democrats saying Trump beats children.
Okay.
What's new? As if screwing them wasn't enough. We're gonna move to beating them.
Well, we did. We notified Congress. I mean, we notified the Gang of Eight. We notified congressional leadership. There's no law that requires us to do that. The law says we have to notify them 48 hours after beginning hostilities. We've done that. I think the notification went today. But we did notify members of Congress in advance. But we can't notify 535 members of Congress. And, well, the Congress can vote on whatever they want, but there's no law that requires us to do that. And I want to say something, because I see people on TV. Look, that's fine. If they want to take a war powers vote, they can do that. They've done that. They've done that a bunch of times. But people keep saying that there's no law that requires the president to have done anything with regards to this. To begin with, no presidential administration has ever accepted the War Powers Act as constitutional. Not Republican presidents, not Democratic presidents. That said, we have followed the notification at 48 hours, and we're here today. I've done more Gang of Eight briefings than I got in the 4 years that Biden was president and I was a member of the Gang of Eight. All of that said, we've complied with the law 100%, and we're going to continue to comply with it.
Good for him.
Yeah, Rubio knows
He's
how
coming into his own.
He knows how to cook, and he's doing he's doing a great job. Did you see Tonto's?
Mm-mm.
I shared this. How's it doing? I want Tonto's. I want this to go big. Oh, it's 107. That's good. Basically says.
Just got it.
Breaking news: Ayatollah Khomeini is now eligible to vote as a registered Democrat in the upcoming midterms. So Tonto funny. Shared that.
That's hilarious.
Oh, this one's doing well. God, everything we post is just crushing lately. It's so good to see. It feels really good to be able to do that. Let me unpin this real quick, and then I'm going to show you. Maybe. Okay.
Coming cat.
So here is Damani. Everyone keeps talking about this Smoothie King thing, and God Almighty, fine. I'm going to show the Smoothie King thing.
You need to see this for yourself.
All right, shut up, Damani. We're going as fast as we can, dude. God, so pushy.
Pushy.
God, so pushy. Here is our good friend Damani Felder with the Smoothie King reaction. I'm just gonna let our boy cook here, because Damani is so good at breaking these down. We're gonna do a collab when he comes out here, and he says we're gonna shoot a shit ton of content together. So I can't wait to do that. That'll be fun, right?
Yes.
Here it is.
Yeah, we're at Smoothie King, and they're discriminating and saying we cannot get service because Jake has a Trump service on.
Okay, well,
so
you said you were going to leave, so please just have a great day and leave so we can continue what we're doing.
We were just wanting a smoothie, and you literally looked at us, and I asked you if everything was okay. You said we don't feel comfortable serving you because of my husband's hoodie. Yes. That is discrimination.
Okay, well, have a great day.
That is illegal.
That's illegal.
nothing to do with us wanting a smoothie.
Okay, but that's who you support. That's who you love, though.
You don't, but you don't own this. You don't own Smoothie King.
You're gonna no longer have your job.
Literally. Like, I'm confused. Is this a joke?
Good luck maintaining your employment.
I don't care. Like, have a great day.
When your company is charged, yeah, you will.
So literally, Jake's wearing his hoodie. They would not serve us because Jake's wearing a Trump hoodie. Talking about discrimination. It is embarrassing. No, what's embarrassing is that we're American citizens and I wanted to get a smoothie.
Because my manager, she said the same thing to you. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying to you, okay?
But hey, you know that's a crime, right?
It's not.
Discrimination
We
is a
have
crime.
the right to refuse service here, and that's what we
Not
did.
due to political views, though.
Yeah, they do actually.
You asked her what was wrong, and she said that she was uncomfortable,
It's a
right or
crime.
wrong? You asked the question, and she answered, have a great day. Have a great day. The door is right there. Have a great day.
How embarrassing.
Have a great day. Call the police, okay?
Wow.
Discrimination.
Yeah, I am going to call the police.
Explain to me how that's okay. Now, the good news is this actually has a happy ending. As of this video, actually just a few minutes before I recorded this video, Smoothie King themselves came out and they made a statement, and I'll read that statement out to you right now because I think it's important for us to have a conclusion to all this. So Smoothie King, they said, as a brand, Smoothie King is committed to ensuring our stores are a place free of discrimination of any kind, where every guest and team member is treated with care and respect. Following an investigation into an incident involving a guest who was refused service at a franchise location in Michigan yesterday, the franchise owner has taken immediate action and the 2 employees involved are no longer with the business. Both the franchise owner and Smoothie King Corporate have reached out to the guests several times to apologize and will continue to follow up. The local owner is also taking further action in enforcing mandatory retraining for all employees that outlines our guest experience standards. That is how you do it. Honestly, props to the individuals who were discriminated against in the first place, because many other individuals would not be so calm in that situation. The fact of the matter is, it's ridiculous that individuals out there would work a minimum wage job and think that they have the authority to refuse service to someone based purely on political differences of opinion. That is classic discrimination. And remember, many of these people on this left side of the aisle are the first ones who were going out of their way to make other individuals feel uncomfortable, forcing them to bake cakes back in the day. They're the ones who pioneered this. And even though they're the ones who are always like, love Trump's hate, this or that, they're the first ones who will sit up there and deny service to someone because they disagree with them politically. That is ridiculous. And honestly, props to the franchise owner for taking that swift action. Of course, the employee herself, she took it upon herself to say, oh, well, let me make a video and make my side of the story. And I'll put it in the comment section down below if you want to look at it. But basically, she's talking about how, oh, this happened the day after Black History Month, trying to act like she's a victim or some member of some protected class, right? Well, she was completely out of line, and she said herself on video she did not care, that she was literally breaking the law and engaging in discriminatory practices. And what's really interesting is even the other employees, she was talking about how Trump discriminated us. That sentence doesn't even make any sense. It's not even a proper sentence, but this goes to show the cognitive ability of many individuals out there who feel like they have the right to treat their job as a place of activism. No one should be doing this. Shout out to the franchise owner. Shout out to Smoothie King Corporate themselves. This kind of behavior cannot, should not, and will not be tolerated. Those are my thoughts. Hopefully you agree. And if you do, let me know in the comment section down.
I love Damani.
He's so good.
And
he's so
good
fun.
for Smoothie King. Good for
Right,
Smoothie King that
right.
they immediately came out. And I hope it was purely on good intentions, not fear of getting a $1 million lawsuit slapped on them. I probably was a little bit of both, but good for Smoothie King and firing them immediately. And I am pretty sure that they're probably not going to get unemployment either.
No, they'll
Good
get
luck finding a new job.
You'll get unemployment, and you do have a right to refuse service for any reason. You can do that, but there's repercussions for those reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And just based on discrimination, it's actually not allowed. You can't make a claim that it's religious beliefs. You can't make a claim that there was something offensive. There was no curse words. There was nothing there. It's the same thing when I wore my Veterans Before Illegal shirt in the Best Buy, and the woman who went ahead and didn't like me very much and wouldn't return a PlayStation for that reason. It is what it is. I mean, it happens all the time to Trump supporters. Trucker Boy Entertainment, everyone in the chat froze when a big black dude sounds hella smart. No, because first of all, we know Damani really, really well. He's been on this show. And it's not that he sounds smart. He is smart.
Very smart.
Yeah. So, and his color has nothing to do with it, but whatever. I understand what you're saying, but I would never dilute Damani Felder to his skin color because he doesn't see it and he doesn't even know he's black. So I have to tell him someday, but he doesn't even know he's black. So I would appreciate it if we would keep it on the down low. You know what I mean?
We don't want to disappoint him.
We don't want to disappoint. We don't want him. I mean, I'm sure he looks down every day and goes, "Wow," but he doesn't know he's black. He just thinks he's a well-endowed white boy. So we don't want to tell him either. That big black guy is a Texas A&M football player and probably one of the most educated and articulate friends that I have. And I don't have many articulate friends, so you'll like him. He's a good dude. He's in our show all the time. But I get what you're saying, and you're right. A black conservative, I tell him all the time, the only reason he's successful is because he's a black conservative. There's not many of them, so it's kind of funny. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good friend. Folks, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. I promised that last video I'm gonna do it. Liv and I are gonna go watch the Anaheim Mighty Ducks and the Colorado Avalanche, and hopefully they're gonna win. But to me, this is enough. I've really had enough of the left. And you know what? I've been called a pedophile hundreds of times. You guys know I'm a survivor of sexual assault twice in my life. I whatever. You can ask my children. Once my kids turned 3, I didn't even give them baths anymore. I told my wife, I said, I'm not okay with it. I don't think a man should see a child naked. I think you need to respect their boundaries, and a mom is different, and she knows it. Liv, have I ever given the kids a bath after they were 3 years old?
No.
Nope. I've spent a life protecting my kids from that horrible darkness that's out there and the people, and I'm not going to, have my children be a statistic of the 2 out of 3 who face some sort of inappropriate touching or sexual assault in their life. I don't appreciate it. But it doesn't affect me. These people don't know me. It doesn't. Words don't bother me anymore. I've been called a Nazi, a xenophobe. I've been called a racist. I've been called, a one and done. I've been called, buff and steroid user. I've been called fat. I've been called skinny. People don't know they'll latch on to anything. And I've been called old. And today some guy called me a kid. So, it's all based on perception, and how people perceive me has nothing to do with me. In fact, it doesn't matter to me at all. But continuing to say these things, I don't know if I believe in karma, but I do believe in energy, and I do believe what you put into this world, you get back. And I think you need to be real careful, because there was a time where if you would have called somebody a pedophile or a Nazi, that you get your nose broken. And those days are coming back. I'm just letting you know that the thing about life is what is past is prologue, and history is cyclical, and things that go out of phase and out of fashion come back into phase. Like right now, 80s is back in style, and the big fluffy hair and freaking bangs and, pegging your pants and shit is coming back. Soon it's going to be swatches and Vans, and Bugle Boy jeans. But a good punch in the nose is what a lot of these people need. And I'll tell you, it's about high time that we turn the other cheek, and not us, but the police, and let people handle things the way they used to be handled. There was a time when you would say, hey, you know what? Me and my 5 friends are going to take you behind the barn and beat the living shit out of you. And
the refs just need to let them skate.
Yeah. Let the boys play. Here is Democrats doing what they always do. And lying and listen, if Donald Trump is somehow attached to this and we find out, I will be the first person to bury him under the jail. But we have a resolute, ironclad belief in this country, and it's the fundamental provision of our democratic republic and constitutional republic, which is the innocent until proven guilty. And some tyrannical king can't take you and behead you and take your weapons, take your property, take your wives, and the effort of prima nocta or anything else based upon your presumption of innocence. And it's the one defining thing that separates justice from tyranny. And you are castigating aspersions. I don't like it when you guys did it to Obama. I don't like it when you say Michelle Obama has a dick. I don't like it when you called Joe Biden a pedo. Joe Biden's a lot of things. A pedophile? You're going to have a hard time showing me that.
I think he's just a creepy old man.
I think he's a creepy old man. And as far as Ashley Biden's diary, I've got some CPS notes that my child said about me, and none of it was fucking true. And kids do and say really horrible things. And if it winds up being true, then bury him. But I am not going to castigate and relegate someone to eternal damnation and to be in jail for the rest of their life on somebody's word. You have to have evidence. And this right here really pisses me off. This is it.
So why are Republicans so interested in...
Ted Lieu
maybe
should be...
explains why they aren't investigating all these folks.
Ted Lieu should be censured, and he should be removed from office. Melanie, listen to this. You're not going to like this one.
Including Donald Trump.
I think you need to rewind it.
Law and investigate these. So why are Republicans so interested in Bill and Hillary Clinton? It's because they're trying to distract from the fact that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files thousands and thousands of times. In those files, there's highly disturbing allegations of Donald Trump raping children, of Donald Trump threatening to kill children. So I encourage the press to go look at these allegations. And I'm highly disturbed that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche just got the law wrong. Yesterday, he said, essentially, that it is not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, that's actually not correct. If Jeffrey Epstein was human trafficking minors for these sex parties, and you show up and patronize the establishment at that party, yes, you're guilty, because patronizing is part of the law, of the federal sex trafficking law. So
kind of like Diddy parties?
General Todd Blanche just got that wrong, which maybe explains why they aren't investigating all these folks, including Donald Trump. He needs to read the law and investigate these people. He also needs to resign, not only for not knowing the law, but a massive, not only screw up, but the biggest privacy violation in history. They release a lot of pictures of minors unredacted, just violated the privacy of these girls. It is uncalled for what they did. The one thing that they could not do under this law was to invade the privacy.
I thought you wanted the files unredacted and all released. I thought that's what they wanted. So no, not those files. Just the ones that say Trump on them. Oh, you mean the thousands of times he was mentioned in the 2016 hotline when Democrats flooded the call center and made just completely erroneous and unfounded conversations when he had already turned Jeffrey Epstein in 2006, and his Justice Department was literally 1 year away from charging him, and then a few years away for charging Maxwell? Oh, those? Oh.
Of these women now who were girls at the time who were victims of sex trafficking. Also, he met with Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell moved her to a minimum security prison and then got a puppy for her.
Donald Trump did not meet with Ghislaine Maxwell. He did not move her. That was the Department of Justice. And there's many reasons why you would move someone to a minimum security prison. And it has nothing to do with me. I don't give a shit about any of that. I want the people who are responsible for harming children to pay. And I want the people who had 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds and even 17-year-olds legal in some states who paid them money to have sex and then signed non-disclosure agreements as Chase Bank gave them millions upon millions of dollars in a lawsuit against Epstein, and then under an NDA kept it secret. And then the moment that he died, decided that they were free and clear from that NDA and for them to release files so they could go ahead and cash in on books and Netflix deals. Sorry, I don't have any empathy for those fucking people. They were whores then, they're whores now. But if kids were hurt, prove it. Give me a list of people and let's take them to trial and let's put them in jail and let's let the system take care of them. Because the one thing is convicts don't like pedos and they don't survive very well. But stop giving us this bullshit that there's this giant sex trafficking ring and you will not hold the Johns and Janes who were in there and implicated responsible. It's tiring and it's exhausting. Liv, any other thoughts on this bullshit?
Fried rice, you prick.
Fried rice, you prick.
Godzilla needs to take care of him.
I gotta find that.
You gotta find the Godzilla one.
I gotta find that. Find way you quick.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, he definitely needs to be kicked out of Congress. But you know what? If Ilhan Omar can go up there and say that America's the worst country in the world and freaking put the Somali flag up and make $150 million off of a wine company that doesn't even exist, then, and she doesn't get kicked out, then I don't see any hope for him. So,
you know, it's funny. This is all guys, you should know my liberal kung fu, so I'll give it to you. Jet Li, Lethal Weapon 3, Lethal Weapon 3, Jet Li, yeah, Jet Li. Yeah, here's, Olivia, I agree with you 120%. Ask them this. Oh, okay, so Trump was mentioned thousands of times in emails. Show me an email where Donald Trump replied. Show me an email that was attached by anyone and where he replied. Show me one. So what you're saying is it's a bunch of people talking about Donald Trump. It's a bunch of people like Michael Wolff and Epstein who was trying to trap Donald Trump because Donald Trump turned him in 2006. Is that what we're talking about? Here's what it comes down to. Allegations are allegations. I don't believe the allegations against Justice Kavanaugh. I don't believe believe all women? No, I don't. I don't believe all women. I don't believe all men. I don't believe all victims. I don't believe anyone except the person who has not been convicted. They are innocent until proven guilty. I believe that. Because long herald the day, and we will all lament when just a simple accusation can damn us to prison. We've been there before. So I'm sorry. I don't believe all women. I don't believe all.
Just ask the witches from Salem.
Right. I just don't. I love when people say, what, you don't believe the women? No. You don't believe the men? No. You don't believe the kids? No. No. I respect their right to name their accuser and then take them to court and have them arraigned, charged, arrested, and tried and convicted. If those things don't happen, I'm sorry. Innuendo and accusations are just that, and that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And you know what? If you were the accused, you'd want the same thing. God forbid if any of you are accused of something that horrible and no one believes you. Now, did I say we should ignore children's pleas? No. Should we ignore women? No. Should we ignore? No. You give them the proper, they have the authority to name their accuser or name the accused. And then it is the justice system's job. That's the way this works. Either we do it this way or we don't do it this way. Any thoughts on that?
I agree 100% with you.
Okay, let's get going. We have a bunch of people coming here, folks, and the next few nights. Tomorrow, who do we got, Livy?
It is Manny Del Rio and Paul Caraforts will be in the house talking about his new Charlie's Bubbles book.
We have a video that I'm going to show that I had no idea was here until I just looked up. But I'm going to, maybe, where was it? Did you see? You saw it earlier.
No, I didn't.
Oh, there it is. Oh man, I don't know. I haven't checked this, but we're gonna do it anyway, and then we're gonna really go. Okay, babe.
Okay.
This is from Amy. I have no idea what this is. It's only 35 seconds, so it's basically my love life. Here it is. Amy wanted to send you guys a message. God, I hope this is good because I haven't played this, so we're gonna find out what is here. Here it is. So this is proof of life. A lot of people were like, we want proof of life. We want proof of life. Kind of like that Guthrie trial. That thing disappeared overnight. Huh? Nothing like bombing Iran to make a Guthrie story get out of the news cycle.
It froze. It didn't play.
I'm not playing it. I was talking.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry. I'll shut up.
Hey dummies, it's Amy. I just wanted to pop on really quickly to say thank you so much for your continued support during my absence. I know I haven't seen you guys in a really long time and I miss all of you so very much. I can't wait to be back on live with you. I still have a few more things to take care of in my personal life and with the transition into my new career path that I'm on, but I hope to be back in a couple of weeks. I really miss all of you. I appreciate all the support you've given me. I am praying for you all every single day, and I can't wait to see you all very soon. Bye.
Yes, that was an AI deepfake.
I saw that. It's AI deepfake.
Drew goes, AI deepfake. Amy is fine. Thank you, Amy, for
I
saying
swear she's not
she's not in the basement.
tied up under in the basement under the
We
stairs.
basically told her that she had to go to donation school and learn how to make donations more effective.
And it's just taking her a little bit longer to learn
every
that.
time she was here, it was hard to hit goal. No, we love her to death. She's amazing. I guilted her last night. I'm like, no video, question mark. And then she got it done. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow with Mandy.
I don't see a newspaper with today's date.
Yeah, she blinked twice. Mandy and Paul Caraforts will be here, author of Charlie's Bubbles. His new book's out. We're going to talk to him. And then Thursday, Leroy and I, and then Olivia and I will wrap up the weekend on Friday. And then we've got some just busy. It's going to be hitting hard. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. We love you very much and appreciate you. Good night.
Night, y'all.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.